Hello, everybody out there in podcast land. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. This episode is brought to you by Transfuse. Transfuse is the only all-natural electrolyte drink that you guys need to have in your cabinets. We love this stuff. We've been using this for an entire season now. This stuff is amazing. I feel great when I drink Transfuse. I drink it every single day. I don't go a day without putting a packet of Transfuse in my water. It's very easy, very portable, easy to travel with, and delicious to drink, which means that you're going to love drinking it and you're going to drink more of it, which is going to be incredibly beneficial to your health. Has magnesium, potassium, sodium, which are all amazing for proper hydration. It has zinc, vitamin C, vitamin B, and choline. These things are incredible cognitive enhancers and immune boosting formulas that you don't want to miss out on, especially in times like this. I'm telling you, I drink Transfuse every single day. I love it. Tyler does as well. Anybody who has tried it has been just pouring with great feedback back to us. There's a reason that they're at all the NXL events, and a lot of the top teams and top professionals are using this product. Do not walk around dehydrated. I never realized how dehydrated I was, even when I was drinking all sorts of water. It's not enough. You need the proper nutrition. You need the right ingredients. Transfuse has done a great job of curating the perfect formula. Transfuse is absolutely spectacular, and for all of our listeners, there is a special deal for any Play the Game listener. If you head over to translabs.com, that's TRANZLABS.com, and use code PLAYTHEGAME at checkout, you will get 10% off. If you subscribe, which means they auto ship you your package every single month, whatever you want, whatever type, whatever flavor, whatever electrolyte formula you desire, they will give you an additional 11% off. So it becomes a 21% discount exclusively for all Play the Game listeners. Huge shout out, and we are incredibly thankful for our supporters. And if you guys would like to go support them, it's translabs.com. Use code PLAYTHEGAME. We are brought to you by Heal Brand. Heal Brand is the best CBD company that we have ever come across. I've been taking CBD products for years now, and I absolutely love it. But Heal Brand has taken my CBD consumption level to the next tier. This stuff is really the luxurious, high-quality, best brand that you're going to come across. Their whole claim to fame is the nanotechnology. It's the real deal. The claim is that through their nanotechnology, the CBD can actually break through the cellular wall and get into the bloodstream much faster and more efficiently. So you need less to do more. Often CBD products, you'll need to take it for a couple weeks before you really start noticing all of the benefits. With this stuff, as soon as you take it, you notice it right away. Within 15, 20 minutes, you're feeling the benefits of CBD. CBD is great for inflammation, anxiety, sleeping, all sorts of different stuff. CBD is really exploding on the scene because it has such a wide variety of benefits. I personally love to use CBD before I go to bed so I can get a full, well-rested night of sleep. Sleep is so crucial. It's so important. If you want to recover well, if you want to fight off depression and anxiety and those unwanted emotions, proper sleep is where you need to start. CBD products really help me do that, and Heal Brand CBD has a wide variety of options of different products, different formulas. It is all natural. It's amazing. This stuff is fantastic. You guys can head over to healbrand.com, check them out, and there is an exclusive offer to all of our PTG listeners. If you use code PLAYTHEGAME at checkout, you'll get 10% off. All right, everybody, on this episode, we have John Lj Woodley. As you guys know, he just went to Tampa Bay Damage. He is an incredibly dominant paintball player. He is a former MVP. He's won multiple world championships. He brings a ton of value and wisdom to whatever team he goes to. And this conversation was really special, actually. He had a lot of great insight. He really opened up and was pretty vulnerable with us, and we appreciate that here at PTG. We're all about connecting with the community, and LJ really showed that he is human like all of us, even though he acts and is a superhero on the paintball field. It was really cool to break him down and really have an open, real discussion with him. So we know you guys are going to enjoy this one, and without further ado, we'll see you in the show.
That was an insane inside move by Marcelo Margot. Great communication.
And the crowd starts chanting Harmon.
Great shot by all the guys. So Tyler Harmon saved that game.
He came out with 2 wins. Marcelo Margot was on fire.
John Lj Woodley, my man, the myth, the legend. You broke the PTG record for longest time to actually get on the show from start to finish. You beat out Mike Paxson, Shane Pistana, legends of the game. Dude, you are crushing it. It clocked in at a smooth 34 minutes to go live.
It's good to see you, dude.
Yeah, good to see you guys, man. Shit.
Heck yeah. So where are you tapping in from? Let us know what's going on in your world, brother.
I'm currently in Dallas right now. I actually was out at Paintball Fit this last weekend. Incredible facility, man. Incredible people running it. Seriously, it's incredible the things that they're doing with that field and with paintball in general, man. It's absolutely amazing, and it honestly just was a big moment in my life, dude. Just walking into that, into that environment, and it's just, competitive paintball is just booming, especially at that facility, and there's so many good competitive players and teams coming out of there, and as you guys know, of course, at the national events, you can just go straight to the pit and it's just straight to business. It's kind of like you neglect that part of the game in a way. And just being in that environment, I haven't been around those kind of like local tournaments or anything like that for years and years and years, of course. And that's how I started. So just being in that and seeing how all that works, it's so inspiring, man. It's incredible. And then just the people that are fans of me, it's like, wow, really? Yeah. Like, it's like interesting, this is like, I appreciate that, like you guys are,
you've made a damn good name for yourself there, bud. And
thank you, bro.
Paintball Fit is an amazing organization. They're crushing it these days.
Yes.
It's really cool to see what they've done. And they've also obviously partnered with the Ultimate Shootout, running all that stuff out of there as well. So it's cool to see them doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm excited to see the new AC Dallas, to be honest, man. They're going to be a really, really good team next year.
No shit.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. I'm excited to see them too. I know a lot of people are doubting them right now because it's a bunch of names that you haven't heard, right? So nobody's heard of them, but sometimes that's a good thing.
That's a scary thing.
You have a blank. Yeah, you have a blank canvas. You get to do what you want with it. And Paulie's still leading that organization, right?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you can't underestimate Paulie, right?
Never.
Yeah. Yeah. He's an OG. He knows what he's doing.
That's the last thing you want to do.
He's next level, man. He really is. He's
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, LJ. It's really amazing to be able to get back to the grassroots part of paintball and connect with the divisional players because it takes you back, Like I remember being a divisional kid, and actually, funny enough, before this show, you had sent me a really cool picture. That picture is so OG. I didn't even realize that we were in that picture together from 2005, when we were all kids playing on rival teams, San Diego Aftermath versus East Coast Empire, and so those were honestly some of the best times in paintball. It's so nostalgic, that's the beginning. That was when it was just all pure love of the game every weekend, and so to get back to the divisional fields or to the divisional teams and connect with them on that local level is epic, dude. I love it. So I love that you're doing it now too.
Yeah, it honestly just gave me a whole new perspective on the game, man, to be perfectly honest. Like it's I've already been really just focusing and loving paintball more than ever, and it just gave me even more of a love and passion for the sport, dude. Seriously, be around those people, incredible people. Yeah, it's an incredible sport. It really is, and I'm gonna do my part to post. Too. Yeah,
we're posting that picture on the IG here soon.
Yeah,
so
we have to.
Yeah,
100%.
And there's Mouse in there too.
Yeah,
dude, Mouse. So it's funny. Mouse obviously got his nickname partially because how small he was when he was younger. If you know Mouse these days, he's a beast, 6 foot, super yoked. You also are pretty tall yourself, but you two both were the smallest kids in the picture. I even commented to you. I was like, wait a second, you're smaller than Mouse in this photo.
Dude, that's Little John, man. Little John. That's where it comes from. LJ. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Dude. Yep.
Yeah, that's funny.
Dude, you can even see Whisper Moose, his big grin
Moose,
in
baby.
this picture. Yeah.
Moose, baby.
Dude. Yeah.
Dude,
yeah,
awesome.
You got Dalton Vanderbilt right there, Ronnie Filipponi. I've got the photo. Usually this doesn't work when I pull the camera up to the screen.
Right.
But that's the photo, so that's a teaser. You guys are gonna see that on the IG.
Yeah.
100%. That shit's tight, man.
And then Ivan Orama directly in the middle, dude. Remember him?
Who?
Ivan Orama.
The
Ion guy. The Ion.
Where?
directly in the middle, bro, in the turquoise. He's super hard to miss.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know who that is. I really don't.
He did like a Virtue Ion video. And
Okay. All right. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. It blew up viral. He looks like he's straight out of Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Just straight Guido, bro.
I love it. I love it, dude. That's epic, man. We had epic battles that whole year. I'll never forget that first final in 2005. Obviously, in the PSP Open is pouring rain. You're at that one, yeah?
The PSP World Cup.
Okay. Oh, you only played the final event with him.
No, so I played 2015 with them, but I started Chicago Open was my first event.
2005, I think you mean, right?
Yeah, 2005.
Okay, yeah. Okay, damn. All right, so you weren't there with them the very first event, which was LA Open. LA.
Yeah, I was not there. No.
Yeah, it was, dude, pouring rain. We're playing in the pitch black. This was our first national tournament as a team with Aftermath.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we get to the finals and we're playing East Coast Empire, and it was another bunch of kids from the East Coast in all black T-shirts. And it was dark out. We're playing under the lights in the pouring rain. It was epic, dude. It was you guys had like the yellow writing, the yellow ECE.
Yep, ECE.
That was tight.
That's right.
Yeah,
I remember
100%.
them showing me pictures of that. It was like insane rain. There was like feet of it, right? It was
it was unbelievable. When you dove, 100%. When you dove, you were, if you played the snake, I remember because the fields were kind of on a slant, but then you would kind of come up, and the snake was down in that bottom corner, so there was literally like a half of a foot of water at least that you were diving into when you're going into the snake. It was unbelievable. It was truly, to this day, it's like one of the wettest events I've ever played. It was crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah. So that's crazy. That was your first national event too.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Tyler was too cool for us back then. He was in the pro field by then, just dominating with Oakland Assassins.
I know. Yeah, that's crazy. Insane. Yeah. Dude, Tyler, I used to watch you. I was actually a big fan of you, dude. Like when I first started off. I mean, I started out.
I'm still a big fan of you. This is mutual. I love you, brother.
Yeah, that's incredible, dude. Just to think back to my 14-year-olds, because I started playing when I was 14, and then I got on ECE pretty quickly because I was a soccer player, so I had the speed, so I was just the front snake guy dummy. But actually, my first national event, I broke my wrist like 2 weeks prior to the event, and so I still was running snake off the break with a pink cast on.
No way.
Oh man.
Yeah, and then I had a pink DM5, man. Yeah. Yeah. That was Chicago. Yeah, that was at Bolingbrook event. Remember?
Yeah, Bolingbrook,
suburbs.
Dude.
Yeah.
I'll never forget those ones. Those are
fun.
fun.
No, Tyler, dude, like I used to watch you on Oakland Assassins. Just those videos. I don't know what videos they were on, but there was just a bunch of videos of you playing the infamous guys, and you were just like the young dog playing with all them.
Dude, how unreal is that? I was playing against Lasoya and like the meanest dudes. I was reading this magazine, and it's like a PGI from 2007 or 5 or 6, somewhere in there. And I was like, talking about that in the magazine, like Lasoya and Paxson, how they would like mess with me and try to rough me up and stuff. But it makes you stronger, like when when they're messing with you.
Yes. So like with ECE, man, those guys are like a whole nother level of tough, dude. They're just like these straight East Coast New York dudes, and they, I was by far the youngest dude on that team, and it's
a blessing to have
they
that.
roughed me up, dude. But I was used to it. I played sports my whole life, but they were just a whole nother level, especially so much older than me. But I was their little brother, dude, to where they would always look out for me, but they would always just, mess around with me and things like that. Yeah, it was a very, very good experience, though, being around people like that, for sure. It gets you ready.
Dude, we're so fortunate. Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt.
To have had that. Because, it's just not happening anymore. You don't see kids on top tier teams, or even it's pretty rare. There's a couple of them out there that we have our eye on, obviously BKI and all these things that we're doing, but it's kind of rare. I think because of the team sizes, they're, getting a little bit tighter and smaller. Yeah. And then the depth of the players on the team, it's hard for like a kid to come in now and take a spot away from these top tier guys. So it's crazy.
It's one of the hardest things to do in the game. You have so many players that have been in it for so long. Sorry, LJ. I just want to that's hard.
Yeah, especially after this weekend. I of course, think the same way. But just after this weekend, just really seeing the talent out there, it was like, wow, there's definitely some promise for the future of paintball for sure.
There's a new wave that's coming. It's going to be big too.
It's incredible, man. It's
The youth are being hardwired to play paintball right now with video games and all this stuff. They're like, they don't even know what's being done to them. As soon as we get them to the paintball field, they're in love because they already love paintball, you know?
Yeah. You're right.
So we just got to get more people out there and engaging in paintball, and it sells itself. Once you start pulling that trigger and running around out there, there's nothing else you want to do. You're like, all right, how can I get one of these? How do I buy paint?
Yeah, that's exactly how I was, man. Like, especially because I'll touch on how I started playing paintball real quick, if that's okay.
I love that. Let's dig into that, actually.
Yeah. That's exactly what we do here on Play the Game, baby. So let's talk about it. Your first time playing, how'd you get into the game?
Yeah, real quick. I don't want to dwell on that too much. But yeah, I went for a birthday party, and I went to
your birthday party.
Yeah, I know.
I don't have. We don't have the sweet horns like on the Spick and Span show. I went on that show last night. They have like these like horns. We don't have those, but I'm doing it.
You got it. Okay, that's good enough. I actually like that better. So go with my buddies, and it was just ideal. The field, Pev's indoor, which was Cousins indoor, and Hop Long Island. So I show up, and there's two fields when you walk in, one on the left, one on the right, and the one on the right was an NXL field layout, like straight up with the X and everything. And then the one on the left was just more of a rec ball type deal, but it still had the blow up bunkers and everything, right? And then I'm just watching these dudes just shooting while loading and just like just ripping paint. I mean, this is incredible. What? This is a real thing?
What year was it?
So that was 2013. Not 2013. No.
2003.
2003, yes. Yeah. So right when I started playing, I immediately just went back on my own. And at that time I was playing soccer competitively, very competitively. I have an older brother and a younger brother. We were like known as the Woodley boys in New York because we were just very good soccer players. And we all were planning on going to the pros and all that. And literally just paintball completely disrupted that future for me, which is my dad was not very happy with, but after a while, especially he warmed up to it a little bit, but literally I just did not want to play soccer anymore, man. That was it. I was like, this is my life now. So I would go there all the time. And then that's where, Matt Blonsky, Bart Blonsky, the NYX guys, the old NYX guys, Alex Lundquist, those guys will always come out, and there's a bunch of other teams out there. And ECE was one of those teams. And dude, right off the bat, they just saw that I was just going on the field versus these big dogs, even though I didn't really know what I was doing. That's
how you do it. That's how you do it. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And they took a liking to that, and they literally brought me on to kind of just a bench player. And then they was like invited me to the national tournament in Chicago after a few months playing with them. So my first tournament was in Division II in 2005, right? Was that 2005, right, Marcel?
Dude, Division 3, 2005. Yeah.
2005. Yeah. So
Such an amazing place that you grew up in out there. That is a great hub center for paintball that you were able to be nurtured in. That's amazing.
Oh no, definitely, dude. And to all those guys on EC and everything for just, taking me under their wing and all that, Joey Altimore, Robbie Altimore, Jace, all those guys. Right, Marcelo? Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Robbie still comes out. So I work with a team pretty closely out of New York. Shout out to my Wrecking Crew boys. Mm-hmm. But Robbie comes out every now and then, comes out with like the Brooklyn Bears and stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of a blast from the past, dude. It's funny.
Yeah. They're actually looking to play semi-pro next year. So
no way.
It's good to see them out there. Yeah. I actually got to play an event with them, man.
Nice.
Like as a pro. Like I was playing with Aftershock, and I don't know what year it was. And the last event, I had a falling out with Shock, and an opening opened up with Brooklyn Bears. So I went down and played semi-pro with them.
There we go.
Yeah, I played absolutely awful, but it was, dude, it was such a different style of play, man. And that's what I came to realize just coaching this team this weekend. The team Tribe out in at Paintball Fit at that tournament. And that's what I can't realize, of course, but there's such a big difference of even like the way the game is played. You know,
absolutely.
Kind of like when we go to Europe and people will just do ridiculous moves, and it's like, and it works, and you're like, I was never expecting that. It's like like what is it? Like poker, right? Or like just like the good guy will lose the terrible guy just because it's so unpredictable. It's kind of like that. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. I was actually going to say that. I was going to say, it's like, it's a tough challenge. There's so many times where Australia is a good example because, it's become really competitive actually.
Yeah.
And, a team will bring over a top level US pro, but I'll recognize that top level US pro hasn't played internationally before. And I'll always say this to me. I'm like, he's not going to do so well here. It's just the reality of it. Like, it takes a few times to realize the difference in the pace and all of that kind of stuff that goes into competing internationally. There's different styles, different techniques, different, strategy, to be honest. And so I totally hear you, man. Yeah.
That's a really good point actually about a pro player coming in and looking back and seeing, okay, have they played internationally before? That's actually a really good point. Especially with 100%. Australia too, which by the way, incredible place, incredible people, and incredible place to play paintball, man. I can't wait to go back out there. But the rate of fire out there is it's 15, right? It's just like that's a whole different. That's a whole new game, dude. When you go from what is it, 10.5 to that, it's completely different. It's kind of like when I was on Houston Heat and we would go from the U.S. to Canada, and it's just like we just had a national event or whatever, and then we'd go to Canada and it'd be another tournament and just be a different rate of fire. And
15 balls a second in Canada too.
It takes you a minute to adjust to that. Absolutely.
Those are fun. The Canadian events.
Those are awesome, dude. It's so awesome.
We're actually possibly going to be having a little PTG Pro School up in Canada, so stay tuned for that, everybody.
Go. Nice.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to have one. It's just a matter of when. Unfortunately,
cool.
we don't know about opening and all that kind of stuff, but we're definitely going to get up there. Major shout out to Wasaga Beach Paintball. We will be looking to get out there as soon as we can.
Mm-hmm. So I want to dip back into your upbringing and how you transferred, from, was it
East Coast Empire, baby, ECE.
Yep, ECE, and how you took the step into pro paintball. And what that looked like, your training regiment, the types of tactics that you implemented to take your game to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you got to start using some different tricks to outsmart people on the pro field. So how did that all come to fruition?
Yeah. So good question. So with, let me think here back. So the biggest thing, right, even with ECE and getting picked up by them, the biggest part I feel that gave me an advantage over just anyone else that doesn't have a sports background is I played sports my entire life, like obsessive amount of sports, you name it, right? Especially soccer. And with that, I was a midfield player. So that's a lot of course, just how the center of the field is, right? It's back and forth. It's connecting. You're kind of that quarterback role. You're setting people up, right?
Yeah. Wow. So that has to... That has a tremendous effect on how you play paintball too, because you're a center player.
Dude, actually, when you just asked that, everything kind of came together of really why the center I feel the most at home, if you will. That definitely makes sense, 100%.
Wow.
But just coming from that, where it's very competitive soccer to that, where it's the same kind of
connectivity.
Connectivity, 100%. Yes, the communication aspect of it. And, all that. Right. So I think that had definitely a huge advantage for me. And then just went into ECE and those guys were really, really good. And just playing against those guys with those guys versus NYX, we would go up to NYX upstate New York and we would practice them a lot, frequently. We would practice versus them and they would just make us so much better immediately, man. It's crazy. And as well, you guys know, of course, it's just like playing first people that are way better than you makes you so much better, so much quicker. So
it's funny.
Paintball.
Especially in paintball, dude. It's anything, but especially paintball, dude. It's crazy, man. We would go there Friday and come out Sunday and just be a completely different team. Yeah. Even though we would get stomped on, it would just be we are a completely different team. Because now we're playing something that some other Division II teams are way worse. It's like, this is so much easier, you know?
Yeah, it's funny. You guys had a similar thing going on the East Coast that we did on the West Coast,
Correct.
right? We had that going on with Aftermath playing against Dynasty all the time. You guys had that going on over there playing against NYX.
Yeah,
heard that.
You got to have that, and you learn quick, because if you don't, you take 15 to the dome piece.
Well, dude, the thing is, like, the brain's an incredible thing, dude. Like, whether you're learning it or not, your brain is understanding it, and no matter what, like, you make that mistake, it's like you're not going to make that mistake again, whether you think it or you don't. Like, your brain's just going to automatically know to do things differently.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Yeah, the hub sensor definitely doesn't want to get punished by a paintball gun too often. So
right, yeah.
Be like,
there you go, yeah.
We got to navigate this.
Yep. So did that, and then let's see. So then ECE, and then I went out to actually Denver altitude.
No way.
Yeah. So with ECE, I was just, like I said, just the kind of the snake dummy. You know, like, they definitely were making me a good player, but I was not getting at all the spins as I needed. So yeah, I ended up going and playing with Denver altitude, man, which was actually,
nice.
we practiced out of Chicago. So I was in New York. So I was traveling for paintball, you know, when I was like for practice, when I was just sorry, I'm just getting these messages.
Just a youngster. How old were you when you were doing that?
So I was, let me think here. So that was probably 16. So everyone in my high school was like, you're traveling for practice for paintball and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, yep.
Yeah.
And so, I would go out to Chicago, and Nick Sloyak was on the team.
Nice.
Nick
Sloyak.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Nick Sloyak,
out,
Zach Patient, Adam Gomez, who's on Thunder now, and David Weinrob, who's on TMG, I believe. And so, we came out and we had one practice with each other, and we went out to the LA Open, and we came out and won that event, man. It was incredible. It's a good experience. Dang. And then, so that's when I kind of...
You joined a division Aftermath wasn't in, that's why.
That's exactly why. I mean, you guys stomped on us on the ECE, dude. I'm not going to lie. Like I was telling you, I was like, when I saw you guys, I was like, they're loading with their guns up. They're shooting, and loading. I'm like, I've never seen this in my life, you know? I have it like embedded in my brain, the image of I think it was you playing with your proto mask that is literally just like so much bigger than your head. It's just like hanging on there. I just got this big gun. The guns were so big back then with the halos, huge, with no speed feed, so you'd have to open the top with your pod. Yeah, so I was like, what are they doing? This is next level. Yeah, you guys definitely gave us a beating for sure. It wasn't even close.
Yeah. We couldn't load with our gun down. Hinman would have eaten us up.
You could tell.
Yeah. Dude, that's why I don't want to hear anybody complaining about gun weight. You know what we were toting back then? These things were boats. These things were boats, dude.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
People complain about a couple ounces on a gun, and I just look at them like, you have no clue. Yeah. You don't even know what we came from.
Yeah. 100%. So then I let's see. So where was I at? So, we did that, and then that's when I really made a name for myself. I think with Denver altitude, I really got that confidence of, you know, I'm on a team where I'm a starter, and you know, we're winning events and all that. And then and Division II back then, man, was like what semi-pro is now. It was good.
Yeah.
Dude, you know, that's when you guys went up to semi-pro at that point.
We went to D1, went from D3.
That's right.
Yeah. Skipped D2 for some reason, went to D1.
Yeah.
We actually did decent in the beginning of that. You know, we did.
Oh, yeah.
Mouse and I ended up leaving midway through that Division 1 year. We got picked up by the Ironmen. But it's another story.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. D2 was tough. That was like back when like LTZ was playing D2.
Yes,
and
gridlock.
Like, there was a lot of gridlock. Yeah, there was.
It's awesome.
Division 2 was tough stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was good. And then I went out to, let me think. I don't know, man. I just Riptide. I played with them for a little bit, which is what the EC guys went up to semi-pro with. So that was a Rhode Island team. So part Rhode Island guys, and I only did that for a few events, and then I played out. And then so I actually graduated high school, and then I moved to Chicago. And did a couple semesters at a small school in Chicago. But the main reason of why I came out to Chicago was for paintball. You know, because paintball is big out there, and that's where I knew a few people from Denver altitude that were living there. Zach Patient, things like that. So I was like, yeah, I'll try out Chicago. Why not?
Yeah.
And so then that kind of led me to being a part of the Distortion. I was on Distortion, which was obviously Sarge and Heat. What Distortion turned into Heat, right? So that I think was a pivotal moment for me, because I was kind of put into the leadership role on that team, and we were a good team, but we would practice Aftershock every weekend, and we would shoot so much paint versus them and just really have good practice versus them. Where at first we were kind of just getting dominated on, and then we really start to, compete with them a little bit more. And then before you know, we're beating them a lot of points. And then, so that was really good though. Really good experience for me. Cause at that point I was definitely ready to play pro. Aftershock, was asking me to come play with them. And I was just like, I'm going to ride this out with Distortion. And so dude, especially this was a huge moment of where cause that whole year we get top 4. We would smash through the prelims. We'd play really well, and we'd get to the top 4, and then we would never make it on or never win, even though we were by far the best team. So that really taught me how to, because it's a completely different tournament on Sunday, right? Everything's completely different. It's, everything is just absolutely, you just need to be unified in every single sense of the word. Like everything you do needs to be together, stretching, everything. Like I was preaching that to the team I was training this weekend, is like, you guys need to stay together. What's going to separate you from everyone else is staying together, doing everything together, because what's off the field is on the field. Everything correlates. Same with the pit.
Totally.
So when you're disconnected, when you're all over the place, when you're scattered, it's going to show on the field. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that was a big part of it, of just understanding how to win, the steps to do it, and the mindset to have, and just playing it 1 point at a time, one kill, 1 point at a time, not focusing on winning the tournament, not focusing on the next match or anything else, just focusing on that next point and how to win it.
Mm-hmm.
I like to say, like, all right, our objective of every single point is to win every point with 5 bodies alive. Of course, that's like a cliche thing to say, but when you actually try and attempt to do that, everybody's going to do their very best. They're going to make every move crisp. They're just going to stay alive and want to put it together.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The team that's the most unified and connected is the team that wins the tournament on Sunday. Every time.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, and you got to be hard to kill. That's such so many players throw their bodies away, and that's just the worst thing you could do. I mean, dude, you've won multiple world championships. You've won tons of tournaments. You've been an MVP. You understand that, right? And that's just something that unfortunately a lot of players don't understand. And that's the biggest hurdle, in my opinion, that new players have getting into the league is they don't have great survivability, And it's like, hey, if you're fighting above your weight class, then don't keep fighting. Just like hide, look the other way, ask your teammate for help, just stay alive, do something to stay alive.
Or just,
or just what?
Just don't fight. Just don't gun battle. Just do not gun battle.
Exactly.
Yes.
And it's such a funny thing or interesting thing to see when you see these younger players come in and they can't figure that out.
Yeah.
And to me, it's something like, and Tyler's the same way for sure. Tyler's always been extremely hard to kill, but that wasn't something that I learned when I turned pro. That was something that I always had. Like I was always hard to kill. I knew bad gunfight to choose. I'm going to look this way, or like whatever it might be. It's a game of self-preservation,
Without a doubt. Absolutely. That's step one.
Live longer than the other guys, and you win the game.
Yeah, literally, step one needs to be just stay alive. Stay alive. That's it. That's it.
100%.
I can't say enough about that, and it seems so simple, right? Like it sounds silly. We're even here talking about this, but it's so applicable because every time you got these guys that just make bad decisions, or they gunfight, like you said, John, when they don't even need to. You just don't gunfight. You know what I mean? Just stay there and connect with your dude, talk, or your girl or whoever's on the field, and make sure you make the connection.
Yes.
Then from there you can do a lot of stuff. But
absolutely. And it's like they're shooting at you and they're putting you in for a reason. So they're going to go. So either if you can, right, almost expect them to put you in and then roll off and shoot that gap because they're going to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if they really put if it's maybe too small of a gap to where if you roll off, they can maybe clip your loader, because that happens, right?
Sure.
Turn to your guy and just have that connection. Be like, hey, Dorito's going to go. Dorito's going to go.
Yeah.
You know, and almost set that up prior to the point of being like, hey, especially if you see I'm playing Tyler, right? And I'm like, hey, if Tyler puts me in, I'm going to tell you, I need you to shoot that gap, you know?
Yeah.
So he's ready for it. So if he's shooting snake side, he's in the back center. Hey, Tyler's going to go. He's already ready for it, shooting that gap. You know?
That's a huge bit of knowledge right there. That's huge info. If you're not implementing that kind of stuff into your game style right now, listen to what John is saying and start using that, because that is so important. That's what the top tier pros are all doing out there. They're leaning on each other. We're using each other to get those kills.
Yes.
And also to couple that, like if you know he wants to go super bad and he wants to take the bunker, let him have it, because now you don't have that gun on you and you get the free move too.
There you go. Exactly. That was going to be my next point, is just another thing too, is just if he is putting pressure on you, make sure you're keeping your eye on him always. Just keeping your eye on him. And that doesn't mean when you head check, you give it your entire face, because in order to see, the reason why I'm constantly jumping over a can or bricks is just because it's very hard to shoot somebody just jumping real quick. But when I just do that, I see everything, right? It's like when you do that, you have an image at that moment of everything that's going on, or everything that you can see from that spot, right? But at the same time, if you're getting put in, you're getting that pressure, keep your eye on him, use that entire spot that you have, come very low, but just peek at him real quick in other spots. And just why I'm saying that is you'll see him move. And when you see him move, that's when your opportunity opens up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's so valuable too. The quick check over the top. I do that all the time as well. Even in like a can, like you said, in a can, jumping up over the can to see what's going on, and then getting that snapshot that you can make quick decisions off of, which is money. Right.
And then like even when you're in the corner too, say like there's a Dorito 1 and a corner, and they're both pressuring you so hard. But and you're say on an island, so you lost your guy, so it's two of them on one of you, right? But you made it to that bunker, which is big, because now you're in the corner, so they can't really come into your side of the field. And then when you're in that corner, it's a lot of people will go into that, they're getting pressure and they'll look inside. But instead, keep poking your head out. Just come real low on the ground. Just keep your eye on that guy, because now what? That Dorito guy is not it's preventing him from going into your shit,
Yeah.
That's going to prevent that. Yeah. So just constantly, and you might see an opening to get a shot on him real quick while he's wrapping or getting greedy.
Yeah. Yep, that's right.
So what I call that when I coach teams is I always tell players, you just need to be more active in your bunker. You see so many players, they get really focused on one job, or they get put it in and they sit there. Be active. Like you watch the top players in the league, they're aware of everything, not because they're guessing. Sometimes you're guessing and predicting, but a lot of it is just knowing when to put your eyes in another direction, right? 100%. So constantly being active in your bunker, checking off the other side.
Yes.
But there's a fine balance there where you don't want to give up your job, right? So, being active doesn't mean you're supposed to go somewhere and shoot this Dorito cut and then you just look the other way.
Yes.
That's not being active.
No.
Being active is simultaneously doing your job and making a quick check so that you know what's going on the other side of the field. There's a huge difference between the two, right?
Yeah, but the thing is with a job too is people think that my job is to hold this wire and I need to hold this wire, and then they'll die. Instead of your job, no, you forgot about what we talked about step 1. Your job is to stay alive. That's it. And especially your job is especially to stay alive when you lose a body on your side, because once you do that, of course, you're on an island. When that happens, your job is just to stay alive. Get wide when you can, get to the corner when you can, but stay alive. Because if you die, now they have the entire side. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
You're worthless if you're not on the field.
Yeah, absolutely.
You gotta stay out there,
especially if you're out wide, and
Not always though. Not by the Alex Frazier theory.
This is true.
Yep. He's like,
what is this?
If you get shot, sometimes he's like, dude, if you didn't get shot, we might not have won that point.
Yeah.
You don't know. Like that gave the other team. The other team thought they had an opportunity here, and they made a mistake. It's a pretty funny way of thinking. Yeah, but I'm like, oh, all right, cool.
I like that.
I actually just talked with Alex about this, about World Cup. He was said that about Dalton. He was like, if Dalton didn't get shot, we wouldn't have won that maybe the way that we did, because once he got
Maybe,
shot,
dude.
they thought that the
Maybe.
side was broke, and then it opened up all the windows. So it kind of does hold some water there.
That actually does. That's actually a good
Yeah,
point.
I mean,
Yeah.
dude, that's right. Well, I mean, you play for Damage now, obviously. Congratulations on the move, by the way. That's a huge pickup for Damage. Damage is already a scary team. You know, like I always enjoy watching them play. They're a good team, and you're just going to bring that much more to them. So, congrats on the move. But you were playing for X Factor, and we'll get into that in a little bit, but. Yeah, that final match, man, that was insane right there. Exactly what Tyler's talking about. Is that what happened? You know, they shot Dalton. You guys shot Dalton out of that side of the field, and they just thought it was clear.
I'm not exactly sure. I know that was a huge issue, though, is we killed that guy, and we did not know that second body was there. I know that was a huge issue. I'm not going to say that's the reason why we lost the point, but
it was actually the third body. We sent 4 people to
That's what it was. So that's what it was. Is exactly that right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it really messed with us. Yeah.
You shot Blake off the break, and then you shoot Dalton. And I mean, if we still have Tyler over there,
right.
What kind of fucking game plan is that?
Dude, yeah. That's huge, dude. That's genius. Genius, big guy.
Got to give a lot of props to Rusty. We came up with that plan in the Russian match.
Oh, really? So you got that was a prepared.
Oh yeah, that was totally prepared. We had this play where we decided not to send anyone snake side. It was me, the widest person in the can.
Interesting.
Put 3 guys down the Dorito side.
That's incredible.
You know, it was the field dynamic, right? The field allowed us to do that. That's not something that you could get away with very frequently, and that's definitely not something we hope to look to do in the future. We caught people off guard, and against the Russians, it was like, you know, Malloy and Smotrov were feasting over there, and we knew our strengths were pushing down that Dorito side.
Right.
So we decided, hey, let them in the 50. It's hard to stop anyway. Just don't let them come to our side of the field.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And then we'll go behind them on the other side. So
the thing about that play is that is so unique that that's just the only thing that I think about is that's such an old school type of like mentality and play style that's carried on into, you know, the new game now. But that's so interesting. And that's some of the things I learned from Ryan when I was played with him in Europe, actually, when he guested for Heat in Europe for that year. So he just taught me a lot of different ways to look at things that were just like, wow, I would never thought of that. It's
totally.
He's a wizard. Definitely.
Yeah.
He is a wizard.
Played out of his mind, man. Out of his mind. Yeah. And congrats to you guys, by the way. Seriously.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And dude, all of us, there's not many teams in the world that ever get that far. You know what I mean? So it's a special thing to be at World Cup and to be in the finals. And we all, you know, worked our asses off to be there. So it's a beautiful thing, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was definitely tough to walk out of that, you know, obviously losing in the finals and overtime, but you know, the way that we overcame, you know, everything with not having Colt and Archie and, you know, we had to play Damage and the Russians, man. And those were just fist fights in the brutal heat. And we only had 5-6 guys. But everyone really stepped up. And Ryan Brand just absolutely crushed it. He did an incredible job. And he was such an incredible coach. I learned a lot from that guy, man. He's an incredible guy. And the thing I love about him so much is that he's just constantly evolving and growing and just so willing to just put his ego aside and just take in as much information as possible, you know, to just constantly be growing.
He's the man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ryan is the best. We had him on the show and got to pick his brain a little bit, and he's been in the game for a long time. So he's got that old school mentality as well.
Yeah. It was pretty amazing to see his growth over the years as a coach. Really it really was.
So when you moved to Chicago, how did that look? So you moved out there for school, right?
Yeah.
And then
for school.
Or for partying?
No, for school. For school, which is just never been a big school guy, dude.
Yeah. Well, he moved out there for school, quote unquote, partying.
For 1 year. 1 year.
Yeah. And then what happened with the whole paintball dynamic after you moved out there? You landed. Is that how the whole Heat thing started, pretty much?
Was with Distortion, right?
Yeah,
Distortion.
So with Distortion, we played. Yeah. So going back to that, so we were making top 4 every event for the entire season, and then World Cup is when we finally put it together how to win. And we won.
What division was this?
This is Division 2. So we beat,
Okay. Yeah.
I don't remember who we beat. I think it was Boom. Yeah, so we played Boom in the finals, beat them. And it wasn't even close. Not that we beat them 7-1, but we had control of the entire match, man. We just had incredible control of the entire event. No one really even came close to coming close to beating us.
That's what it's all about.
Everything.
Dude.
Yeah. Because we went into the tournament just with a completely different mindset, and I think that taught me so much, man. As being the leader, right? As being the quarterback, being that midfield player, right? Because that kind of forced me to shift back, because I was a 1 as Little John, LJ. I was always the 1, and then playing with all those other teams, and then Distortion, it kind of forced me to play that 3 role, that center guy. And that's when I think all those skills kind of developed, as far as just being the quarterback, being the guy, putting it together, closing it out. And then getting that win was huge, man, huge. And then we went actually on to play right after that event. This is when 7-man NPPL was going on, which of course was basically almost just as big as the NXL, right? And so Sarge, it's a weird situation, but basically Rennick Miller owned Aftershock. And so he was funding the NXL Aftershock. But then Sarge was funding the 7-man Aftershock. And he had a bunch of the Shock players on it, as well as his son, Ryan Smith. And then I think that was it. And then actually for World Cup, for the 7-man World Cup in Vegas, after we won World Cup, he brought in myself and Ronnie. And then we came out and we actually won that event. Beat Dynasty under the lights, dude. Crazy.
Iconic event right there.
First pro tournament, and I'm playing versus Oliver Lang, who I was the biggest fanboy of Oliver Lang and Dynasty, dude. Literally did a school project on Oliver and Dynasty, and then I'm playing them under the lights, and we beat them and win. It was incredible. So,
dang.
Yeah, then we went on, obviously, to forming Houston Heat. But
so Sarge lives in California now, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how has he done so well? What does he do?
Sarge?
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure.
FedEx Dominator, I think.
It was UPS. Right? UPS.
Yeah.
UPS. I think it was a regional VP.
Wow.
UPS, yeah.
There we go. So being that your name is LJ, Little John, did you listen to a lot of Lil Jon growing up, huh?
I didn't, but I actually did. Yeah. I actually did party with him in Vegas, though. That was pretty funny.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah. I literally was I was like, Little John.
My name's Lil Jon.
Hey, Lil Jon. That's what I said. My name's Lil Jon. It's like, okay. I literally been fighting with all night, dude. It's actually pretty incredible. Dude's really super fun. Yeah, we were jumping around like a bunch of little kids. Yeah. Yeah.
So you did go to Chicago to party. See, I got you.
No, I did not.
Yeah. I got it.
So I'm a pastor's kid, man.
Dang, there we go. I love that. Shout out to the pastor.
That doesn't mean shit, dude. Stop it.
The reason why I'm saying that is just that I was very sheltered. And then
so this makes sense. You broke
what
out of the shell.
What makes sense, Marcelo? Tell me what makes sense.
You broke out of the shell and exploded.
Oh, yeah?
Exploded on the scene.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, look, everybody knows you're the guy. Look, you showed up in a mink coat to the goddamn, practice last week, and I saw you out there looking like a damn rock star.
It was not a mink coat, but yes.
Everybody knows. John Lj Woodley is the rock star of paintball. Dude, own it. It's a good thing.
Own it,
Mr. Fashionable. For all the listeners, come check this dude out right now. He's got another mink coat on around his deal. He's got the fancy hair.
It's a cardigan.
It's a cardigan. Hey, he's going hard again in the cardigan. We got him out here.
Oh, I like that, dude. But use that if you don't mind. Yeah.
There we go.
I like what you said there. Own it, dude. I own it, and I own who I am and what I like, and that's just
always fashionable, baby.
Right.
I love it.
But dude, honestly, I always dress that way. Usually not to the paintball field. Yeah. Usually not to the paintball field. The duffel bag, white problems, bro.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, so it was freezing. I didn't have a coat, and then I can only wear X Factor stuff. And then I'm like, that's a weird thing.
Dude, you look good, you play good. That's the way it works.
So that's what I was going to is the way I dress is always the best.
To play good.
Best I can. So like even just with work, right? Working from home, I'll always shower and dress and look my very best every single day, because what's external is internal, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
really crazy.
I love that.
Feel good, feel good. It really, even consciously you feel, but subconsciously as well, bro. It's everything. The way you carry yourself, your overall confidence. You never know who you're going to meet, man. Like with my work, right? We'll maybe dig into that, but it's just your network is your net worth at the end of the day, man. So you never know who you're going to meet. And I've met some crazy people in the most random ways. And if I look like a complete scrub, like who knows?
You ain't landing deals.
Well, who knows? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. You're actually touching on something really important, and it's actually why I was joking, dude. I love what you do. I love the way you show up to the fields like a rock star. Truly, I do.
Yeah.
And it's outsiders that see our sport. Optics are everything.
100%.
You know, like that's optics are in everything, and they are part of everything, and they're so important to everything. So, you know, how you portray yourself every day, you know, is incredibly valuable and incredibly important. Mm-hmm. So, I'm a fan of it. Like I said, dude, just give me some fashion tips, dude. I'm a little behind the 8 ball over here.
Yeah, I got it.
I think that was the people they had questions because they know that you're stunting on them out here from the job place to the paintball field. Yeah.
I'm looking to help, man. I did this for a few consulting jobs for friends and mentors, and then some of their friends. So that's actually
there we
something
go.
I'm looking to really. I just like to help people, man.
Yeah.
Whether it's in paintball and whether it's in just how to carry yourself and fashionable advice.
Are you starting
interior
a fashion consulting? Fashion consulting.
I'm not starting it. Necessarily. It's just something.
You might have just started it. It might have just started.
Let's go. Yeah. I mean, I love to help people, man. So yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Fashion as well as interior design as well. Because again, what's external is internal. So and that's such a fine line between fashion. It's just all aesthetics at the end of the day, right? Which I'm obsessive about. So so it's kind of all
everything.
Those things, and it's just the way of life and mindset. And dude, because it's not like I've just been a pro paintball player and just everything's been incredible, right? It's like, dude, I've been through some really rough times mentally. You know, I've been through depression. I've been through very tough times, man. Really, really hard times. So the thing is, it's like I've been there. I've been in those dark abyss moments where you just feel like so isolated and you know, there's just no way out and you just feel cornered. So I feel that. I feel the people that have been there. So I think that's one thing too, where it's, you know, they feel like they're not being judged because I understand what it's like. I've been there, you know, and I mean, it's not like I'm perfect now, but I know the steps to, you know, help get out of those, you know, hard moments, dark moments, if you will. So yeah,
there's a lot of people that, you know, are going through that kind of stuff right now, probably more than ever.
And the thing is too, man, it's just like just changing one thing, right? Just about even like how you dress or your haircut, and just doing it the right way and just getting taught how to do it the right way, how to groom yourself the right way. It changes everything, man. Like if you're super depressed and you're very introverted and just kind of shy, it's going to open yourself up. You're going to carry yourself differently. You know, you're going to puff your chest out and hold your shoulders back that much more to where you're just ready to take on the world. So.
And I think you touch on something incredibly important there, LJ. And for all the listeners out there, I guarantee you 70-80% of them have battled, maybe more, have felt that, had some sort of depression, it's part of life. You know, the human brain is, especially now, the human brain plays tricks on you. It's very intricate. It has a lot of things going on. You wake up in the morning and it's just constantly flooded with emotion and you know, excitement and ups and downs. And you look on your phone and you see all this other stuff. It's really easy to have envy. Like there's a lot going on, right? And you said something powerful that often it just takes one thing. And look, hey, that one thing could be a multitude of things. It could be a fresh haircut. It could be going to the gym, getting some physical exercise. It could be learning something new so that you feel better about who you are. You know, it could be learning a new skill. It could be getting a new jacket, you know, so that you feel confident. There's so many things that you could do. It just starts with doing one thing to make yourself a better overall person, right? Aesthetically, internally, I mean, all around. But people have a really hard time like getting to that point of finding out what they should do and making that decision and understanding that changing your mindset is a couple decisions away, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And just touching on what you said right there, comparison, man. comparison all day. That's just that is like the absolute worst. That is the killer right there, man. And that's why I said, especially now, right, where it's so easily just look at your, distraction device and just be looking at somebody that's looks like they're having a way better life. Of course, and this is touched on so many different things, right? But the main thing to always just, and this is what really, really helped me, start moving in that right direction to where it's an upward trajectory rather than a downward, because it's always either doing up or down, right? So, but making those right decisions to help you will just continuously, because your brain's a muscle, man. If you make those decisions, I'm going to better myself. And with that being said, is comparing yourself to who you were yesterday. That's it. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Don't worry about anybody else. Like, just improve who you were yesterday. Be a little bit better. And it doesn't. And yeah, there's all these things that you can do to improve, and you have all these, but just like one step at a time. Just little things, just little improvements will just continuously again cause you to just be better and better and better, and it's just going to cause this upward trajectory. And I promise you that, because your brain's a muscle, and when you have decisions constantly, so many every single day, and when you make a decision to better yourself, it's strengthening that muscle to just literally always choose that decision. And also it's just, it's you're gonna feel so good about yourself, right? You're gonna feel so much better about yourself, because deep in your gut that when you lay your head down at the end of the day, like deep in your gut that's your conscious is like, you did the best that you could today, and you were better than who you were yesterday. Right. Yeah. So it really starts very, very small. And that's why it's hard to get into the gym. It's why it's hard to do anything, right? Because it's so overwhelming to go. And that's because you're comparing yourself to somebody who's on level 17 when you're maybe only at level 2, dude. But understand that you're at level 2. Okay. And just get to that level 3. It's just one step at a time. It's kind of just like with paintball. It's like, if you just start playing paintball, it's like, I'm going to turn pro, and then you just get dominated on and just don't do the work or whatever. And it's just like, I can't do it. It's like, no, dude, let's just have little goals here to get there.
I like how you called it a distraction device. That's genius, first of all, because that's exactly what this little bastard is right here, is just a big distraction device.
It's a depression device. It's anxiety depression device, dude, straight up.
Yeah. And you're right, dude. It's crazy, Marcelo. We were talking about this morning with our friend. The brain is a muscle. And with everything going on, your brain isn't getting that rest that it needs. It's just, this muscle is being overworked. And Marsh, you said it great this morning. You go to the gym, you work out your bicep, you do 10 reps. It's going to be a little bit sore. You're going to feel that pump. You do 100, 200 reps on that thing, your arm's going to fall off. So it's the same with your brain. The brain is a muscle.
I'm so sorry, guys, but the brain's actually an organ.
An organ.
The conversation that we were having is, it's like a muscle. It truly is, dude. You're being flooded constantly with the brain. As soon as you wake up, right? It never gets to rest. It does not rest. It's constantly processing emotion and feeling and thought and colors and visuals. It's constantly working. It is constantly in motion. If you had any other part of the body that was doing that, it would be so incredibly traumatized. If you went to the gym and you were lifting a weight, a 5-pound dumbbell with your left arm, you could lift that for 5 minutes straight, no problem probably. But go on 24 hours, you're going to have an arm that's black and blue. Your bicep is going to be torn. Your arm, you're going to hurt yourself. You're going to be injured if you do that for 24 hours. Even when you sleep, your mind is the neurons are firing. Things are going on. So the mind almost never turns off. And we had this conversation this morning. So we were talking about the importance of understanding that and putting these practices of meditation in your daily regimen, where you just shut the mind off, to where you don't think of anything for 10 or 15 minutes. That little bit of a reset is so powerful. The mind is the most important thing we have, in my opinion. It's more important than any muscle you can ever build. It's more important than anything that we possess on our human physical body, right?
Well, I would have to say the heart is pretty high up there as well.
I would rather my heart go before my mind.
Same, bro.
If my mind goes and my heart's still pumping, that is not a good life.
You're not wrong.
Yeah,
But,
so I'd rather my heart go before my mind, buddy. Listen,
you're
the
not
mind
wrong
is
for sure.
the mind is something that we need to be so dedicated on and so focused on. And Tyler, you're one of the biggest advocates of this. You truly are, with like breathing and the different attention that you put to clearing the mind and doing all of these things. It's the most important thing that we can work on.
Totally.
LJ, how did you become aware of that at a young age?
Real quick, I just want to wrap up what we were saying real quick, and that's absolutely an incredible point. By the way, I've never actually thought of that as far as like putting into that perspective, but just touching on what I was talking about as far as upward trajectory and things like that. So when you do start making those movements, right, of comparing yourself to yesterday and being better than who you were yesterday, dude, and making those. And then you start to challenge yourself, right? Not too much, but right in that perfect, like the yin and yang. You want to be right in the middle of that, right? That's just where that's the uncomfortable state and then the comfortable state, right? So you want to be in the middle of that, where you're constantly challenging, but you're also comfortable. If you get too overwhelmed, too challenged, then you kind of freeze and it's too much. It's overwhelming, right? It's stressful. And then if you're too comfortable, that's when all the snakes start coming in. You're too comfortable, and you know that you could be better. Right. So once you start doing that and you start moving in that direction, dude, it's incredible just with, the neurons that start unlocking from literally from your genetic code, dude. You start to unlock all these different mistakes and all these different lessons and knowledge from your past ancestors, man, from like your father's father's father. When you really start to challenge yourself and take those steps, it's actually proven that you start to unlock all these different neurons in your brain. So you literally become smarter. You become so many different things. But
Absolutely,
yeah.
I love that. Even a small shift could just be like focusing on the breathing, like we said, like waking up in the morning each day and doing 10 to 15 minutes of breathing. I want all of you to go on Netflix and check out this Headspace Guide to Meditation.
Really?
If you've never meditated, it's a phenomenal, nice little meditative guide, and it's fun and it's interactive. And I think it'll really get you centered and give you that time that you need for your organ, the brain, to relax and, fully come to a Zen moment and be able to have clarity. And then from that clarity, you can move forward. So just simply starting your day with breathing and just making sure that you're getting all that oxygen into your blood and giving yourself a fresh start in the morning could be a great way to just get a simple boost each day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm going to check that out.
Thank you. Very important. Yeah, it's a good one.
Check that out.
It's
absolutely.
Really fun. There's like 6 different episodes. So they have guided meditations on there.
Awesome. Yeah.
And, it's cool. Yeah. Mm-hmm. For sure. So when we left off on your story, you were talking about how you had just gotten onto heat, or that's how heat started. Kind of walk us through that whole lineage.
Yeah. So what were you asking before that? You said, how did I get into?
Yeah. How did you become aware of this kind of stuff, right? To where you were like, I can change my reality, my paradigm, right? Man. I can take control of this, because that's the pivot point that a lot of people are looking for, and they just don't know how to get there. Dude,
I think it was just when I was going through a really rough time where I was depressed, and it was tough with paintball, right? Because with paintball, it was, and you guys know how this is. You have a tournament. That's your goal, right? That's your goal is that tournament. That's your next goal. So then you practice and you train for that, and that's what you're focusing on, right? Because we always, especially men, but everybody, especially young, ambitious people, we need to always be having a goal, and we need to be working towards it. That's literally that's not happiness. I don't like the word happiness, but I think that is literally, that's how you basically continue to move forward and be happy with yourself. And it's just seeing that progression, right?
If you don't have a finish line, where do you run?
Yeah, absolutely. If you don't,
100%.
Yeah. So it was really tough for me just going to having that, right, where it's a paintball tournament. You got your practices, and then you have the event. And then I think this was the year maybe where it was the back-to-back. The NXL Europe was after the NXLs,
Okay.
So then, then I would come home and then have nothing to do. And dude, that is the absolute worst thing, dude. The idle hands is the devil's workshop, right? Like that saying, it's so true, bro, especially, for young males, man. Like that's when the snakes start to come in, dude, is when you're idle. It's crazy. So yeah, it's almost like you always have another voice in your head that you're constantly, fighting against always. It's your worst enemy, and he's there every single day for the rest of your life. And he's basically just constantly telling you that, you're terrible, everything that he tells you. Right. So that just took over, and I just was in a very, very hard place. And I just started, consuming content, and I just started, reading and trying to figure out what's going on,
Can I ask a quick question, LJ? Where were you consuming this content from?
So I would say majority of it was Jordan Peterson.
But like what device were you using to consume
YouTube
stuff? Okay. From your phone, maybe?
Just on the TV.
Anything.
Okay. YouTube. Yeah.
I just want to point out, simply because I know we called it a depression device, and it can be, but this thing right here, this phone, can also be used to do some miraculous stuff if you have discipline with it.
Absolutely.
If you understand how to use it,
yes.
And if you understand the downfalls from being glued and married to it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. I guess I just want to always just try and shed as much light to people as possible, just to be cautious of how dangerous it could be for your mental
100%.
state. But yeah, so
it can be.
Yeah, so I just started really looking into it, and and then I really started understanding it a little bit more. I think that's a big thing, and I think that's a big thing for everybody, is just to understand neurology, understand like the psyche and how to improve yourself. I mean, that's constantly how to be, but I think that's where really everything kind of changed for me, was where I just started doing the things that that the content was helping me lay out in steps, and I started making those forward progression, and that's when everything immediately goes away, dude. Because then you're proud of yourself, you're improving, and you're doing things that internally are the right things, So yeah, I think that's where kind of things started moving, and also I think at the same time is when I was working. So I work as a Chinese sourcing consultant. So I work with. I have contacts in China in the manufacturing realm, and I basically I bridge the gap for U.S. corporations to Chinese manufacturing, and I work on behalf of the manufacturers. So basically, anything and everything I'm able to procure in large volumes, and I have an incredible team in China, amazing people. They're like family to me, and I love how Chinese business is. But at the same time, so I was in that role, and I was getting paid salary, and it was a base salary with commission, but I had a couple sales and things like that. So I was getting recurring revenue coming in, and that just shows you money doesn't do anything, man. Like I'm literally getting all this money for nothing, and now I'm just like, I have nothing to do, dude. I have nothing to do. I have nothing to pursue. And then at the same time with work, it's exactly what I was talking about with the yin and yang thing, right? I was so far in the chaos and I was so overwhelmed with this new job because I'm young and I have no experience, no college degree, nothing. And I have no boss. I have no one teaching me, because what I do is so unique. You can't even look up what I do and figure out ways to succeed at it. So and they say like the number one problem from entrepreneurs is that there's too much opportunity. And when there's too much of opportunity, it becomes overwhelming. And when you become overwhelmed, you do nothing. When you do nothing, that's the worst, right? So I think that was very tough for me, is that I was getting money, as weird as that may sound. I'm getting money and all this, but I'm not doing anything, and I'm not learning, and I have no idea. Like I would just get anxious even opening up my computer to do work, because the people that I were working with, as far as my clients are concerned, they were high up executives of large corporations or engineers, and I have no idea what I'm doing, right? And at the same time, I think my lack of confidence was the worst part, because my whole life I was just the pretty boy that was good at sports, man. Like I literally was So I was supposed to play professional soccer. I was like, that was my life, you know, and that's just how I just put myself out there. That's who I am. I labeled myself as this person. And that's, I continued that when I started my role there. So I was playing paintball and doing that. And I just was like, I'm not smart. I'm not as smart as these guys. And I always understood that I had, a great mind for the sport of paintball and in sports in general. I always have. And dude, everything changed once I started making those progressions, but everything changed with work is when I changed that perspective. Perspective is absolutely everything in life, man. That lens, dude. So I changed it from I'm just incompetent. I don't at all compete with these people. They're just way more experienced and knowledgeable than I am, to this is paintball. This is paintball, dude. Like, this is the exact same thing. There's such a fine line. Everything is exactly the same. So I just became a student. I became a sponge, and I literally just, everything is so much like paintball. It's absolutely ridiculous, dude. Like, becoming elite at something, becoming the best of something in a sport, dude. Like, everything that is involved. And that's the communication part of it. That's the empathy part of it. As far as teammates are concerned, empathy is everything. But, and just putting yourself in other people's shoes and the hard work and, oh man, so many things from paintball. Right. As well as just being involved in other countries and cultures and things like that. So I changed my perspective, and that changed my confidence. And when I changed my confidence, that's when I wanted to learn. And then when I started to learn, even at square one, I started to learn. And then it become like, okay, I'm starting to understand this a little bit more. And then I would put myself in those uncomfortable positions of meetings where, dude, it would be 10 executives for a large corporation, and I'm the U.S. representative for this manufacturer, and I'm sitting down with them, young. And so that's another thing too. I'm a young kid. I'm like this pretty boy looking kid, so they probably think I'm a dumb pretty boy that's young. Like, it's just like I'm putting that all in my head, right? So yeah, so that I would put myself in those uncomfortable situations, and those meetings would go terribly. They would go terribly, but I just kept doing it. Just the same exact thing with the center, right? Just going back to paintball. The center, dude, I wasn't good at the center when I first started playing. It's not like I just got it. Oh, this is cool. I get it. No, not at all. But I just kept putting myself up there over and over and over again. And you know what happens when you do that is when you first start going up there, as I'm sure a lot of players listening here, it is so fast. It's so overwhelming. You can hear the other team. There's so many guns shooting at you. Your team's yelling at you. You don't know what's going on behind you. Craziness. You don't know when someone's just going to come around and bunker you. You can't see shit, right? But the more you put yourself in that situation, it starts to slow down, because I've been there before. I've been in a situation. And when the game slows down, that's everything. That's the honey hole. That's the honey hole. But yeah, just literally just being up there so many times, like, okay, I've been up here so many times, like, you really just start to understand what to do.
Are you still doing that? You're still connecting?
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, full time. Yeah. I feel like I'm just now starting, man. It's nice. It's incredible. It's an incredible opportunity. But again, dude, that goes back to what I was saying about your network, man. It's just because I knew the right people, and a lot of my clients, most of them are because I've just met the right people in, all sorts of different, situations or whatever. And it's on airplanes or at Facebook Marketplace. I have a big client for Facebook Marketplace. Yeah. Big corporation. Yeah. But it's just your network is your net worth all day, man. And I cannot emphasize on that enough, because that's something just to rely on. It's like a skill to have, right? If you get fired from your job, it's like, who do I know? What do I do? Right. But it's all about just connecting that net worth, obviously being able to provide something, supply something, if you will, a need. So,
you have to have value. Fulfill
a need. Yes. Have a value, right? You need to bring value in some way, but, it's an incredible opportunity what I have, man. Tiger by the tail. It's literally infinite. the direction that I could take this. It's just infinite. There's infinite opportunities because we always need things. And if you're the one supplying a need for something, I mean, especially my team in China is just so good that that's a huge part of it, of course. So
yeah. And
I love what I do. And I used to hated it, man. I hated it.
What was the change?
I would be making money doing nothing, and I'm driving by people in construction, doing road construction, and I wished that I had their job because I'm getting told what to do, and I just have a routine, and
So what changed? What shifted that changed your outlook on it?
The confidence and seeing that self-improvement and just going back to just like, the mental side of things of just comparing myself to yesterday. Oh, I've improved. I'm actually understanding this now instead of it being so overwhelming. It's like, okay, these meetings are getting a little bit better here. And the biggest thing too is just like, I'm at the end of the day, I'm selling something, right? I'm supplying something, but I'm selling something. I'm selling myself. I'm selling my company and the products that we provide. But I really just I've really changed my approach to selling. I think that how to sell videos are just complete rubbish. Is like most of them.
Times too. Everybody knows what those are, so you come off as a phony.
Yeah, and selling is such a weird word, dude. It's
Yeah, totally. I want to touch on this really quick, just because it's something Tyler and I talk about all the time, but it's about that self-talk, Ty, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like, LJ, your self-talk, that inner voice you were talking about, the devil, the snakes, your self-talk changed. That's everything, man. That is confidence.
Everything.
The way you talk to yourself, like people talk to themselves in a way they would never talk to others, which is crazy, And if you actually think about that, it's kind of mind blowing. There's a lot of people that walk around, they're kind, they treat people well, but then they talk to themselves terribly. And they put themselves down and put themselves in this space that is really hard to dig out from because what did we talk about? That organ doesn't stop. It's relentless. It's from when you wake up until you go to sleep. It's with you 24/7.
For the rest of
your
life.
It's in your dreams. It's constantly with you. So if that voice isn't benefiting you, you're fucking making a mistake. Like you need to fix that first and foremost. You need to make sure that you're saying the right shit to yourself so that you can get in the right headspace. That's what it's all about, and that's it.
Yeah, it's that one, and then two, it's just movement, man. moving, getting things done, just having an aim and just aiming at it. And so many people are just, they don't know what they want to do with their lives, or they, just have an aim and just go towards it.
Yeah.
Whatever it may be, just aim towards it. Just go. Make a decision and go all in on that. And if that doesn't work out, then you're a lot better off than whether if you would have just sat at home and did nothing and didn't pursue that. But I guarantee you've learned so much, and that aim is going to change, and it's always going to change. Just like with business, it's just you got to always be pivoting, and that aim is just, you're never going to get to that. And that's the thing is, you never want to get to that. It's like it's always got to just be changing. You got to always just be readjusting and re-aiming, but always be aiming and pursuing that aim. And when you do that, all of that negative talk, all that goes right out the window. It disappears.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about it, guys. Like when we're playing the game of paintball, or when you're in the flow of work and you're in calls, do you ever have those negative thoughts ever? Like, no. Absolutely not. But I guarantee you, if you're like hungover on a Sunday, you're laying in bed all day, you may start to have some depressive thoughts or, negative thoughts start to come into your head. And that's because you're not reaching or pursuing that where your brain and body knows it needs to be.
Well, it's also really hard to lie to yourself, right? You can lie to other people, but it's really hard to lie to yourself. So if you're not doing the shit that you should be doing, that lets doubt creep in. That lets these negative voices have a platform, right? But if you're doing all the stuff that you set out to do, there's no platform for those negative voices. There's only a platform for the confidence and for the appreciation for what you're doing. Like, it's all about those actions, those actions that you do, and it's huge.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah.
And the words, man, you got to talk to yourself the right way. You're absolutely right. There's people that are talking to themselves, and they're not being as nice as they definitely could be to
For
themselves.
sure.
And that's your amigo. That's your number one. That's all you got is you. You know what I mean? So
And
you
it's
got
your
to make sure
biggest
that we're, yeah,
biggest enemy too, though, man.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. So
Sure can be.
it's all about taking that conscious action and just, you know, embrace yourself, show yourself love, and that's going to permeate out into the universe and start to reciprocate things into your life that you could never imagine just by a simple shift of some kind words, some kind thoughts to yourself. It'll change your entire reality. And like, have true appreciation, because you are valuable. Every single one of you out there listening to this, we all have tremendous value as part of this ecosystem of people. And when we all come together and can start to, you know, find that value in ourselves, then we can start to pave the ways to a brighter future. We're in some dark times now, but it's not far away, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's I like something that I don't know who said it, but basically just like, it's almost like, okay, your life and you are a ship, right? And you're heading towards a destination, and you know that destination is not where you want to be. Okay.
Yeah.
But all you got to do is just shift the wheel. What is that? The boat. What is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You just got to just shift it just half a degree, right? Just a tiny little bit. And that's what I'm saying. It's just like a little thing, right? Just in your day that you know will better yourself in a little bit. It's something very small. And that may be just you're working from home and just getting dressed up and just feeling good about yourself and taking a shower, making your bed. I am a huge advocate of making your bed every single day.
Me too, dude.
Cleaning your room. Yeah.
I have not jumped on the damn bed making thing. It's the one thing I don't do. Everything else I do all little things, but I just can't make my bed. I'm going to get back in that thing a couple hours later.
Okay. Well, I guarantee you. So something that will help with that, and I'm ridiculous, but I guarantee you, what would help you is, do you just have one comforter? Do you have sheets?
I have sheets. I have a comforter. So, I've got a throw blanket. So, we fancy over here.
Okay. So just have one duvet and that's it. And that's just all you have to do is just throw that on there, and no sheets, because sheets you have to go to the other side. You have to just.
Bro, but I need my sheets. You're telling me not to use sheets now? What do you mean for what? It's part of my. What do you mean for what?
I don't.
You just sleep flat on your mattress? What do you do?
Well, you have sheets underneath you, but I'm saying the top sheet you don't need. That's all.
Yeah, dude, it's cold here in San Diego, bro. I know you're not used to that. The duvet's just the cover for the comforter. You have just a duvet? What are you talking about?
The duvet is just one big.
Just a comforter. That's what you mean.
Just a comforter. Correct.
I thought you were into interior design, bro. How are you going to decorate a master bedroom?
Yeah, I don't even know.
I love you, bro. I'm just giving you a hard time.
No more advice for you. Look at I make my hotel room bed, dude, and I just
wow.
That's huge. I bring my own blanket, dude. I'm like next level, dude. I get in here and rearrange the hotel. Whenever I walk into a hotel room, I'm always like, this is off, this is off, this is off.
The thing is you're right. You're 100% right. You hear so many successful people talk about that simple task, because it's one of the first things you do when you wake up, right? So it's having the discipline to make the bed and have like that sort of routine, I believe, is what it is. Again, honestly,
and it's a success. You just had a success for today, even though it's small. Dude. That's what I'm saying. Is you just need to have those little successes.
I can relate to that, because something for me, what I do is I have a list. I have a list right here. I've got my pad. And every single day I write down very minuscule tasks. I have big tasks on there, but I also write down the little stuff like clean the couple dishes that are in the sink. Yeah, exactly. Because then I do it and I cross it off, and I get a little hit of like dopamine. My body, my mind is sitting there going, oh, you're accomplishing stuff. And then momentum starts to build.
And then you start doing this upward trajectory.
Yeah. And then next thing you know, I might fuck around and make my bed.
Who knows, dude? That's a big step, dude. That'll be on there as the big accomplishment for the day. Who knows? You let me know.
I love it, dude. You're speaking about some powerful stuff, man. You really are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all about the little accomplishments, man. They add up quick.
Add up.
Yeah.
And then that wheel starts turning. It's like, it takes some effort to get the little wheel turning. And then once that wheel starts going and you get the momentum, you're off and running.
It's incredible, dude. I can't even begin to explain to you the person that I was a year or 2 years ago, 3 years ago, to the person I am now. And
Wow, that's crazy. I would like to dive back in on that, man, because you took a break from paintball.
I did.
Obviously, you're on a very successful team. You took a break, and the outside perspective was you were just pursuing a successful career, right? You were constantly over in Asia putting deals together. It looked like you were, from the outside, again, social media is so misleading, but it looked like you were just living the good life. And you know, it's pretty fascinating to hear you speak about you going through struggles during that time, and you overcome that. You start making shifts in your in your day to day. Or
not during that time. It was before that. I decided to quit paintball when I was in that rough time, and then that's when I fully went in on work, and then that's when started.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So, and then you come back to the game with X Factor last year, 2019 actually, and very first tournament, Chicago Open, you win the MVP, you go up the center, you crush it, you have a dominant performance the whole time, and it's like something just kind of clicked, something changed, something shifted. You came back a new person, I guess.
Without a doubt, literally a new person, yeah, through and through, like. Yeah, that's just it's all mentality. I mean, if that doesn't prove it enough, it is all mentality. I played pro for 10 years at that point. Played pro for 10 years at the top level. Never gotten an MVP. Never played that well. And then I take 10 months off. Don't even touch a paintball gun, and then come back in. And my mindset is incredible. I feel great about myself. I've got all these different things moving outside of paintball, and I'm just in a really good place. And then I come back in, and I mean, that's the reason why right there. It's just because of who I was and how just an overall, just fulfilled person. So
you had a lot bottled up that you needed to release on the paintball field.
It was, I mean, some of it was like, okay, yeah.
I mean, obviously, right?
Don't forget about me. Don't forget about me out here, dudes. You know what I mean? It was almost like that. But at the same time, I had nothing to lose, right? Yeah. So that's kind of the thing with paintball too. It's like, just even with paintball, even if you're so driven to be, it's like I said it yesterday on Maddie's podcast. You gotta want it, not need it. It's kind of how paintball is. It's kind of how everything is. That one deal that I had for the last 6 months that I've been just putting everything into, just driving weekends, Christmas, Thanksgiving, literally no time with family, nothing. Just not talking to anybody else, and just fully in on that. And then that started to fall through, and it's like, then I have nothing, right? So that's kind of how I was with paintball. Can you
explain that for me? You gotta want it, not need it, because it almost sounds like it would be the opposite, right? You gotta need it, not want it. So what does that mean? You gotta want it, not need it.
So you got to, let's see. So needing it, right? It's just like with a girlfriend or something like that. Same perfect relation there. As if you girlfriend, if you need her for everything that she's got, and just like she's gonna be like, you're draining me, and then when she dips, then you have nothing because you need her. But then when you want something, you want it, but you don't need it, right? You can live without it, but you want it. There's just a big difference there. It's kind of just, I guess the best way to play is just like
freedom. It's freedom, dude. It's freedom.
Yeah.
It's freedom. It gives you the freedom to not have to be connected to all these exterior things. Like when you're comfortable enough in your own skin and you're good where you're at and you don't need something, you can go out and be the best version of yourself because you don't have that like overwhelming kind of, like if I fail, that's it. Or if I'm not good enough, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
You don't. That's what I get from what you're saying. Lj.
Thank you. No, I think you articulated it perfectly. Thank you for that. Yeah, because you're living in a state of anxiety. You're living in the future, and
very interesting. Yeah. Thank you for elaborating on that.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for asking,
dude. This turned into an episode that I love, man. I love this stuff more than anything. I really do, because I think. People are afraid to talk about this kind of stuff, right? They feel like it makes them feel less manly or obsolete or whatever it might be, but it's so important, man. And
that's the thing.
So many people go through this stuff,
That's the thing, man, is no one's got their shit together. No one, no one,
Yeah,
dude.
totally.
No one's got their shit together. Nobody, dude. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, dude. Like, I wake up every day and I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to do what I can to do and I'm going to own it, right? I'm going to put as much confidence and do. When you own things and you have that confidence, that no hesitation, everything changes. But at the same time, I don't know what I'm doing. You know, a lot of the meetings, a lot of the calls I go on, I have no idea about the engineered, intricate little parts, but
yeah.
You know, I'll own it, dude. And you know what I mean? So, but
we're right there with you, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. We're playing the game, dude. It's all about playing the game.
You
That's
guys
the
are
whole
crushing
name of
it.
the show is.
Yeah.
Dude,
But,
isn't it funny? Isn't it funny how we used to like, go ahead. Go ahead.
Just like, but yeah, no one has their shit together, dude. No one. And anyone that says like, get your shit together, or like they think they have their shit together, or they're trying to portray they have their shit together, they're even worse, because they're not admitting they don't have their shit together, man. You know what I mean? Like, you got to first of all know that you are not perfect. You do not have your shit together, and you always have things to work on. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I just, as kids, you would look at 22, 25-year-olds, 30-year-olds especially, and you're like, man, those are adults. They got their shit together.
Oh, yeah.
And then now here we are, and it's like, oh man, I wake up every morning ready to wing it, you know, just
for sure,
on
dude.
the fly. How are we gonna dominate this day? It's funny. It's a funny funny perspective.
And when you know that no one else has their shit together, dude, that comparison, all that, it goes out the window, man. Where I'm not perfect, you know, they're not perfect. They're not better than me, you know. So
that's right. No, we're all trying to wing it out here, man. Like, there might be a couple that may have their shit together, but for the most part, it's 99% winging it out here.
Yeah. And especially Marcelo too, what you're talking about as far as like, you know, mental illness and all that right now, it's so big, man. Like, I'm sure like the audience listening, everybody out there on the street, it's a vast majority of people are dealing with it, man. One time or another. And
that's partially why we started the show, to help people during this time. It was crazy when this all started, when we started this, we were like, we didn't know what was going to happen. And we wanted to connect with people because it was getting dark quick, you know? Yeah. So that was one of the big reasons we started this. That's
a one big pillar of happiness, man, is connection and interacting with the world, man. It really is. It's so incredibly important. It's just to constantly go out there and interact with people, man. Even if you're not feeling like talking to people, talk to people. Talk to them. Talk to girls, man. Ugly, fat, old, whatever. Talk to girls. And then when you go to a bar and you want to talk to a girl, it's going to be that much more easier, right? If she's a pretty girl, you're not going to be like, oh, all frozen up, because just you're in the process of, you know, just knowing how to do that. You're right. You're practicing all the time. And same with selling things, and just like being able to, you know, communicate and articulate and just connect with people and engage and genuinely be engaged, man. Like, I can't tell you how many times I'll be on the phone or at the store and I'll be like, there's a grocery store, for example, and it's like, hey, how are you? I read their name to him. Hey, Jolene, how are you? I'm good. I'm good. Like, it's almost like, I'm good. Like, it's like they're so thrown off because everyone else is just in robot mode, right? Where they're just like, you know, going through the motions. They actually did this study real quick at a grocery store of literally they had one clerk standing there and they were ringing up their stuff and the customer is right there. And then they caused a distraction for the customer real quick. They popped down that clerk and then popped up a new one and the person didn't even notice.
No way.
Yeah. It was like,
I would notice that shit for sure.
Yeah. Because you're you though, right? You're very, very engaged and present. Right. So it's different, but
I agree with you. I love it. Like, honestly, I get that connection, that interaction everywhere I go. If I'm going to UPS to drop off some postage stuff, or I'm going to the grocery store, I want to have a quick 30-second genuine interaction. Dude. You know, it's like that time where we can actually connect. I'm going to ask you how you are. You're going to ask me how. We're going to make a quick joke. We're going to laugh real quick, and you're going to remember me next time, and I'm going to remember you.
And you just made their day.
And 100%. You know, and they made my day too. Like,
absolutely,
it's a mutual thing. Yeah.
And then who knows, man? Maybe that person is somebody that you could be doing business with. That might be an opportunity. That might be a mentor, right? So that's where all of those have come from. Has just come from It's not like I saw them wearing a rollie and some crazy clothes, and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" Or it was literally just another civilian, and I just interacted with them and genuinely wanted to understand their life and their family and how they're doing and everything about it, right? Where they're from, like what's that culture like, right? And just, people get so weirded out, not weirded out, but just like so confused because so many people are just not willing to do that. But then that opens so many doors, really does.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah.
It's an unfortunate truth of the reality we live in is that, and it's getting, more dismal by the day.
Way
it's just
worse, man.
That
way
connectivity.
Worse.
Yeah.
Way worse.
Yeah, now we have masks. Now we have masks. They're behind plastic barriers. It's really pretty crazy.
Dude, I was at the gas station earlier and I was giving the guy a pound underneath the thing. I was like,
yeah.
It's good to see you, man. Have a good night. All right, take care.
Giving him knuckles. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go, dude.
Just
I love that.
Everyone respect, man. Everyone. Be nice to everyone.
Those little
bro.
things are life-changing these days. Little details like that are life-changing.
Life-changing to people, to you. Just like you walk out of it with a smile. Like if anything, do it for yourself, man.
Even if you're on the phone, if you're having a conversation, smile on the phone. They can feel that through the telephone. You can feel the energy. Just we need that more than ever. Let's be there for each other. That's what it's all about.
Really, though. Really. It's something special.
If you could give the listeners some advice about how to play the middle the way you do, I would love to hear that because you have you've made a name for yourself doing it. And what are some of the things that go into your processing on that?
Okay. Let me break.
Want it, don't need it.
Let me break it down in the I don't want to give up too much information. So, but I will definitely give advice. There's plenty in there, right?
I mean, you're not rewriting the book. It's been done before.
Of course, yeah. So let's think here. All right, so again,
Oliver's done it a couple times. There's people.
That's what fired me up to do it.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
There you go.
I like that. Nice.
Yeah. So I would say starting out, the best way to do it is to get, again, it's like if you're scared of an elevator, just get into a fucking elevator and that fear goes away, right? People are scared to go up the center. Everyone's scared to go up the center. Go up there all the time. Just keep going up there. Keep putting yourself in those situations. But with that,
embrace your fear.
Absolutely. But not necessarily running straight up there. Maybe start off doing that. But there's so many different ways to go there. That's what I love about it, baby. That's what I love about my work. That's what I love about it. I really, really like that, is that there's so many different ways to do things. Just like with business, there's so many different ways to make money, right? But like there's so many different ways to play the center. There's so many ways to go up there where it's like it's very one-dimensional for the most part on the Dorito snake side. But the center there's like so many hundreds of ways to get up there, right? Thousands if you really get intricate with it. But when you start to go up there and you start to use, for example, we'll use a layout such as, a standard layout where there's a brick right in the dead center. And then a lot of times there is like a tower or a can right in the halfway up. So it'd be like the 30-yard line. There's those bunkers, right? So utilizing those, I like to be not necessarily the first guy up there, but I definitely like to be there unseen, because sometimes it's an advantage to know that they're up there, where they're at, where they're shooting. And then you can kind of, okay, let me figure out a way to get this guy out of here. You get him out of there, take his spot. Now you have it to yourself. And then they also don't know you're there, right? Especially another thing too, is like if your guys so say, there's a guy up there. This is a trick I used to use a lot of times. And this is, I'm digging in there, but I'm digging in. I'm happy to do it though.
There we go. PTG listeners are very thankful for you right now, LJ. Let's hear it from the MVP.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
So
I like to. One good little trick is say there's a guy in the if there's a brick in the center again. So he's up there. He's up there, right? Your team knows he's up there. Their team knows he's up there. Okay. So a lot of times they're not going to think that there's another guy up there with him for the most part. They're not going to think
on the other side of
on
him,
the other side.
right?
So they're
of
seeing
course.
him and they're like, okay, I have an opportunity to move because our guy is up there. So he's causing guns. And then, so you're up there looking a certain way. You get a kill because you're going to see that guy, you're going to see a guy make a move. And then once that happens, obviously you want to be the one to cause the chaos, not him come to you for penalty reasons, for everything, right? Guns will draw to you when you come through. So you want to get that kill, come through and kill that guy and trade out with him.
Dude, that's the oldest dynasty trick in the book. It's called the Mick Pick 2, baby. You know, you get up there undetected. As soon as you get the first kill, you come around and bunker the next guy.
Okay, well, yeah. I guess that's it for my advice then.
I'm just kidding, dude. Honestly, not many people play that center the way you do. You truly are one of the best and so dominant with it. I think your height helps too because you could play so many different spots of it.
Yeah.
And it's like you constantly you showed me that video. I hope you do post it, by the way, if you come through the center and bunkering me, but you're constantly on the other side of the field. You know, you're constantly on the other team's side of the field, and you often take one or two bodies with you, and you're telling the listeners how to do that right now. That's incredibly valuable, what you just said, the way you explain it. So
I think a big thing too is where I play it different maybe than, other center players is that I'll get that G, I'll get that kill, or I'll get that second kill. And when I'm making that second kill, I need to go into their tower, right? But when I do that, so say we have 5 bodies, I kill one going one way, come through, bunker out, that's 50 brick, and I come into their tower. What I'll do is I will just stay alive and just hunker down, man. First of all, I'll look at my biggest threat. So say I come up to there's 2 bricks in the middle, right? So say, was that World Cup? There was 2 of them? No, they weren't aligned. But okay, so say there's 2 of them. There's one on the Dorito side. Okay, so I come up to it. I go and trade out with that. I go and shoot that guy. I come into their tower. Okay. And then when I get in there, a lot of times when you get into those spots, you always got to think about what bunkers people are playing when you're looking to play at the center, right? Because if I'm playing up the center and I make a move to their side, it's very hard to shoot out a Dorito guy because you got to think about what bunker they're in, right? The mini W is very hard, and like the bricks very hard unless you have to come just a tiny bit onto their side, and that's something to know as well.
Totally.
Just you got to come 1 foot onto that side, you can shoot a lot of bodies with that. But anyways, you got to think about what spot they're in, right? So say there's I think it was the Dorito side I was talking about, but say there's a corner over here, right? And you're coming through, you shoot this guy out. You got to think about that guy prior to the point of, okay, shoot, if I come through and bunker that guy out, I can use this tower to hide behind, and I'm going to shoot that guy in the corner because he's in a cake. So say there's a cake in the corner. So a cake, you can only play it so tight where if, you're going to shoot that guy out most likely, right? So you shoot that Y guy, okay? And then the team's probably going to know you're up there, okay? So then your job right now is to stay alive, hunker down. But again, look at your biggest threat and how maybe that guy can come to get you. So say I just shot their snake guy going out wide to that corner. My biggest threat would probably be, and you don't have to play it with form, dude. Like if you watch me play, like again, flexibility helps, man. I'm 6'1", but I'm extremely flexible. I can put my legs behind my head. I could show you, but you'd probably just be too weirded out.
That's crazy.
It'd be the clown show.
Dude,
you got to do
Stop
it now.
You got to do it,
Come
dude.
on.
You can't put your legs behind your
I'm
head.
not doing it, but I promise.
That's crazy. That's
To be the circus
that's
show.
very impressive. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But that's
important, being alive in that tower, because you're drawing all that energy towards you, and then the guns are shifting, and
you
you're
gotta
allowing.
you gotta do weird things, dude. You gotta be in a super uncomfortable spot. You know, like you never know. And that's the thing too. Like, doesn't matter how you look, dude. Just play the spot and. Literally, like if I'm playing super tight, I'll literally be like this, and I'll have my gun pointing at that biggest threat. Where's my hand?
He's just
take my strong hand. That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
Look at my biggest threat, and I'm just holding it with one hand. I have my gun against the bunker, and I'm just chest against the bunker, but I have my gun at the biggest threat. So
because they have to come bunker you. You know they're going to come and they're going to trade another body. So now you've got 3 bodies for your one move.
Exactly right, but not only that, but I cause so much. The longer I stay there, the more I'm just a ticking time bomb for us to just come out wide and capitalize on that, right?
Totally.
So literally just come there, just be tight in that bunker, and you're going to be real tight in that thing, so they're causing even more of a distraction. And something else too is people aren't usually normal, like they're not used to that, right? People don't play the center that often, and people are whatever that may be, our tower, our delta. It's like, what? When you hear something that you're not used to, it's like, what do I do, right? It completely throws you off. And that's what you want to do all the time, is constantly just be doing everything you can to throw them off their game, to make them readjust. But not only readjust, but when you throw them off, even just with little things, it's throwing them off, and then it's making them disconnect. When you make the teams disconnect, that's everything. Like we were talking about, the best teams are connected. So if you can do your best to disconnect them, fight in the pits, whatever it may be, right?
Yeah. This is huge right here, what you're talking about.
Yeah.
This is huge.
I mean, dude, it's just, it's all about the connection in every single way, dude. But yeah, if you're able to do little things to disconnect them, right? So for example, me going up to that tower, it's disconnecting them. They're screaming. They're not going to put it together to come get me. They're not going to be calm and composed. If there's 3 bodies, it's not like one body's just not even going to look at me. They're gonna check off to see, because they're not used to that guy being there, to be like, can this guy shoot me? How can I go get him? Right? Well, 3 of us are doing this. Guess what the other 4 homies are doing, right? They're going, dude. And then all of a sudden, so I'm looking, and then I come back out, boom. I get shot by our guy that gets in the 50 Dorito because he moved off of the chaos.
And your team is aware of that as well. They're feeding off that. They're using that, and it's a part of
X Factor was, but
yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, and hopefully any middle players that do this, you set it up with your team. This is going to be part of your plan. Do the bunkering. Don't be the people getting bunkered out there, getting chicken winged to pieces out there, where your arms are getting peeled back. Be the one bunkering. It sets the pace. And also it turns the guns, like you said. When you're doing the bunkering, they're on their heels. You don't want to be the team on your heels.
And what happens when you go and do the bunkering, right? So say the brick's here, I'm in whatever bunker, and he comes through. I'm changing my gun like this, right, to shoot at him or whatever. It's doing this. And then what opens up out here to the corner or down the Doritos, right? Because that gun's going to shift right there. Yep. And then right here is where you have all that big opportunity, that big hole.
For all the listeners on the YouTube, LJ's doing a pretty good animated job of explaining the spots with his hands. But dude, you're so right, LJ. And what you just really explained was composure and having a plan, right? So many players, like the less experienced players, they make a move. Anytime they go to bunker somebody, they're surprised when they're still alive, So like, they don't have a plan. They're like, oh my God, I didn't get shot. And then they just end up kind of running through and getting blown up and that's it. And they maybe get another guy if they're incredibly lucky.
Exactly.
Have a plan. That is the most important thing. You're right. Like if you bunker someone and you live on their side of the field, your team's likely going to win that point.
Without a doubt.
You're putting yourself in, because you're going to get another kill, right? If you don't pick a bad gunfight there, you're going to force one of them to either come and trade with you, or you're going to shift their guns, just like you're saying, long enough to open up opportunity for your teammates to get down the field and reposition.
Yeah.
It's so important. Have a plan. That composure.
And just what you said too is that's why it's important to go up there and over again, because you've been in that. Yeah. So like I'll do it, right? It's the first weekend on the layout, and I go and do that move, and I get in their tower. I will be uncomfortable, and I might overextend, right? But I think I'm pretty just stuck in the way that I'm drawing gun. And that's the thing, dude. You got 3 guns on you, and there's only 3 of them. You're doing your job, dude. You don't do anything else. Like you are doing your job. But that's right. Yeah, but like if you do that over and over again, it's like, okay, I've been through this before. It's like, okay, okay, come here. I've been here before. I've done this, right? And that's why I also think too, just even if a coach were to teach their players or whatever. I was breaking it down on Maddie's show, so I'll just do it real quick here because
there we go.
So the way I articulate it to these guys this weekend, is the tribe team is you need to just basically think of, because the game is so overwhelming, dude. There's 5 guys shooting at you. You don't know where they're at, but people are screaming, trying to figure out where they're at, right? Instead, break it down with your team as it is 2-on-2. So it is Marcelo and you and me. Oh, that'd be fun if we played together, huh?
Yeah.
So say you and I, I'm in the tower, you're in the Dorito 1, okay? It's you and I versus, and say we're mirrored, right? So you have a Dorito 1, I have a tower. So it's 2-on-2. That's all it is, man. Our job is to work together, is to win our side. If we're worried about, hey, the 1 through 5 is how we called it on the last time we played for X Factor, 1 through 5. Hey, the 1, the 2, the Dorito 5, the snake. Like if that's not your job, dude. Your job is to work with me to get you down that field. And how can we do that the best? And that's, hey, Marcel, and it's just like that, literally talking, because you're going to hear me way more if I'm talking. And I know you probably preach this over and over again, but so it's conversation right after breakout. So you're again, it's all about connection. So it's like a connection, like bubble, right? You come off the field, you walk to the start station, you're in that connection bubble, right? When you break out, it disconnects, but it needs to come back. That's super important to reconnect. And that's the 3 guys' job, as well as, the 2 guys next to each other. But reconnect, figure out the situation. If you guys kill a guy, okay, great. Hey, kill that, get it out, right? And that's the back center's job. If Tyler's shooting Dorito side with you and I, he's shooting this way, he shoots that way. Okay, he gets the information from, you and I, and then his job immediately needs to check and then his job is to connect with them and get the information from them. And now he has all the information, and then he relays the information. Okay. He relays that information. And then I'm a strong believer in the back center's a 3-second bunker. So sees the situation, whether it's to bump out wide, to balance out a side where he lost a guy, or to go up the middle. If you guys get a kill off the right, he wants to go up, cut that off, But either way, it's shooting off the right, connect, and it's forcing this 3 guy, which is so, so, so important, to turn his head. You got to turn your head to see what's going on, because you could lose a guy that went short, and you need to fill that spot. And if you're just looking this way for too long, they're gonna be just zoned in on that zone. You can't get out. But if you boom, 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 check off. Oh, hey. And then you're also seeing, hey, we have 5 guys alive, or we have 4 guys alive. We lost this guy, we lost that guy, but we shot that guy. So, yeah. It's
so much.
No, that's the thing. And that's what I'm trying to break down in a more simplified process, which I'm sorry about. Totally. But it's the way to make it more simplified is just, it's you and me versus that guy and that guy. That's it. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Well, you speak to an important thing too, and this is something that X Factor did really well. The top teams, look, again, that's why, LJ, to be fair, when we originally started talking about stuff earlier in the show, I was even going to kind of iterate, like, a lot of this stuff is stuff that, you were talking about, like rolling off. If someone puts you in, roll off and keep looking at them. You know what I mean? Don't just totally like give up the zone. The top teams are doing this stuff, and it's really like the bottom half of the teams in the league that just, they haven't caught on. They don't understand it, and then the best of the best, like, I know you have a ton of tricks in your bag that you're not going to share, and you would be kind of silly to, right? A lot of the players do. A lot of the top players, there's stuff that we're just not going to share until we retire. But this stuff is so valuable. And that 2-on-2 that you're talking about, it's a perfect example is, me and Tyler break out on the Dorito side, and say we lose 2 bodies on the snake side. The worst thing we could do is now try to look snake way to stop their snake side.
The worst thing.
No.
You got to balance it out.
Yeah, we still have a 2-on-2 on this side. We have a 50-50 chance of winning on this Dorito side. Let's go take that.
Yes.
Let's try to win on this side before they exploit the advantage they have on the other side. And so often you see like divisional teams, or again, teams in the pro division, that they just don't win many games because they don't realize that. They don't understand advantages. They don't understand that pulling your one guy on the Dorito side does 2 things now. You're probably not going to stop the snake side. No, and secondly, you're weakening your Dorito side. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, it's that's an important thing you said right there. It's really, it's very true that break the field down in sections in many ways.
It just helps make the game less chaotic. And when it becomes less chaotic, it slows down. And that's the main goal, is to have the game slow down and just be simplified. Because when it's simplified, you're not flipping, you're not sure what you're doing, where it's just, you need to know exactly what you're doing, what your guy's job is. And just go back to what you said too, with the back center guy, if he's shooting right and he doesn't check off on that guy, he doesn't know. And he's not telling his guys where he's got to, of course.
Sure.
Yeah.
What players have you like taken from and learned from the most as far as playing the center?
I would say Jason Edwards. I emulated my game off of Jason Edwards, Oliver, and Fedorov. I would say, as well as Chris Lasoya, in a sense.
Lasoya, dude, the OG.
Mm-hmm. Nicky Cuba. Nicky Cuba was
brought energy, dude.
Yeah, he brought so much energy, and he just played the game where it's like, how is this guy good? He doesn't look good by any means, but the dude just dominated on people. And one thing that I think I took from him was he just uses his gun as a shield. Everywhere he goes, he has his gun up. And if you really think about it, it makes sense, man. Like, if you need to get to a spot and you get control of that person, like, use your gun as a shield, dude, and watch his paint. Because especially if you're shooting at one guy, like, you're literally shooting at him. You see when he pops out, watch his paint. And then all you have to do is just move out of the way a little bit, but you're still controlling him. You know what I mean? And then you'll see that opening of the thing you want to do is make his gun put so much pressure on him. So say you're in the short bunker and you want to get out to the corner and there's a guy in your mirror. So you put him in, right? And then it's not just you putting him in, right? Because he could just maybe just keep messing with you. But you want to make him put so much pressure on him where he goes like this. Right? Where you're stepping out. I got to go in because otherwise I'm going to die. And then you make that spot. And then right when you get to that spot, you wrap and you get back on control of him. That's a big thing.
Totally. Those fundamentals are huge.
Yeah.
That's why running and shooting is people think running and shooting is something you either do for looks or you do off the break. But for me, running and shooting is most important when I'm trying to make moves.
Yeah.
I rarely put someone in and then just try to make a move. If I put someone in, I'm going to make my move shooting at that person.
Absolutely.
Because again, look all the way back to like what you spoke on in the very beginning. If somebody puts you in as a good player, what do? You don't just totally tuck in. You're waiting to come out and shoot that player because you know what they're trying to do. So if you have constant pressure as the attacker, you're going to have a much better opportunity of making moves and getting into spots, especially as you work your way up through the divisions. This isn't stuff you really have to worry about in the lower divisions, but as you get better and better, those windows get smaller and smaller. And so you have to be able to get yourself into those spots. I couldn't agree with you more with Nicky Cuba, man. He looked like he wasn't great at paintball, but he dominated. I mean, dominated. And you're right. His gun was always up. He was always making moves and
communicating very well. And his confidence was everything. He did not have the best ability, but it's his confidence.
Yeah.
He's a winner.
He's a savage.
He's a winner.
Straight up. And the best players in the world are the ones that dominate the field. They don't let you breathe.
Yes.
You feel like they're sitting on top of you when you play against them. You know what I mean? You try to look out of your bunker, you get gogged because they have their gun on you or they're shooting so accurately and they're dominating you. Those are the best players in the world.
Mm-hmm.
They make you feel small when you play against them, And I know personally, like, when I'm moving in between bunkers, I'll even be coming around super low with one hand shooting, as I'm going around my bunker into the spots that I know I need to be putting paint in. It's like a low crawl, one-handed type of gat type thing. But even just doing little things like that applies pressure in areas that'll keep people in too.
And then guess what, too? When you go to that next spot, your gun is rolling. That's a big thing that people don't overlook is like, so say I get put in and I roll off and I'm shooting my gun in my mirror. He puts me in. I continue to roll my gun, right? Because now I have a wall of paint, right? And then I want to get back on that guy. I'm watching his paint. I see an opportunity because I see him shooting low. When I come out at him, I don't go, da-da-da. I go, whoa. Like just that I just keep it at him, dude. Just like, you know what I mean? It's nonstop shooting.
Yeah.
How many times have you shot your own teammates?
Too many. Too many. I've gotten shot way more than I've shot people though. Think about where I played.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Popping your head up in the center.
Oh yeah.
So, dude, I do want to talk about your time on X Factor because that was huge, man. Kind of walk us through how that all happened, how you came back in, and how you. I mean, that was a big year. The year that you came back for X Factor, they won the series and won some tournaments. It was amazing.
Yeah, man, it was incredible. So I went from Heat to Aftershock to X Factor, and yeah, it was an amazing vibe when I got on that team, bro. It was incredible. The first event I played with them was the Winter Classic in Florida, if you guys remember that.
That's right.
Yeah. So that was cool. That was my first event with them, and I just came from Shock. So, coming into a team that's just well structured, a lot of players that I looked up to, that I was maybe even fans of when I was younger, or just really respected a lot of them, and Ryan and everything like that. So came into that team.
Shock was having a hard time at that point, right?
Yeah. So, and that's the thing too, right? So when I went from Heat to Shock, that's when I think I really enforced my will up to center as a center player, because I was playing extremely selfish, which I almost had to do it, and
no, you did for sure,
just and constantly protecting myself and staying alive and just doing things in a very, very creative way. It's not like this. When this happens, this is what you do. It's all just based off of Rainey said it the best. It's paintball is not math; it's art. It's all about being creative and just flowing and just going with that. So I think that was a good year for me though, because Aftershock with that, I just learned a lot and had a good time. But most of all, I just really, really enforced my will up the center, and that's where I think I really started putting my footprint in the game for a center player, because that A was tough to play. It's very tough to play, and for that season, it was, for the most part, the layout would be an A with a cake behind it, right? Like an Xbox type deal. And I would stand over the top of it, dude, so I could look both ways. And I just had a really good quick shot. If someone literally Dorito 1 moved to Dorito 2, I would just be gazing. I'd see that, and I would just shoot for the lens, and I'm dead. You know what I mean? And then at the same time, if someone comes to get me, I'm right there. He comes to get me, boom, shoot him, stay alive, right? Kind of like what happened with A-Rod when he came around at one time. Remember that?
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh, dude, I gotta send that to you. So it's when I was in the cake. I check off low, and I see him coming through just a crack, and then I come onto the opposite end of the cake, and he's in our tower, and I pop the top and shoot him.
I remember.
Yeah, what tournament was this? I do kind of remember this. Cleveland. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
got him.
That's just that squirrely type of.
Yeah. Being active.
Very active. Yeah, very active.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So I think that's where I really started, playing up the center, just running through when it didn't make sense, but just to do it,
And when you came back to X Factor, you already knew that's where you were going to be going. You're like
X Factor. It was tough, dude. So we Aftershock had a really good year, or a good event. I'm sorry, a good event on World Cup. I forgot what year. My last year with. I don't know. 2015,
right?
We played you guys and lost you in the semis.
Yeah.
So we played X Factor the first match of Sunday, and I didn't know until after, but all X Factor needed to do was win that match, and then they won the series.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So this is this year that Ronnie and I were on the team, and David Barga and Chris Sosine, but all of them were playing out of their minds. Ronnie was playing super well. It'd either be Ronnie attacking on the Doritos or me attacking on the center, and we beat X Factor. Like Aftershock beat X Factor on Sunday, knocking them out, and that's kind of, I think, I know that X Factor. I was always in conversations with Ryan about coming to X Factor, but I think that's what really. That match, right, where I'm just such a thorn and they couldn't get me out of there, and then Ronnie was such a thorn, So then I ended up going to X Factor, and they hated me for that. So when I got on the team, they told me about that and how I took the series from them. I'm like, dude, what? I'm so sorry. I feel terrible.
No, you didn't. What are you talking about?
I don't feel terrible at all, but it's like,
yeah, no way.
Because I got to get it back for them. Hey, here we go. Dude. Especially showing up in Chicago, I got to help out with that,
Yeah,
there we go. Worked out.
100%.
So yeah, then it got to X Factor. It was a great fit, dude, man. Like it was, and that's what they were saying. They were saying it's a tough organization for players to come in and fit and gel together, but it immediately was a great fit, especially because they needed a center guy bad, and because they didn't have anybody really tall enough to look through the windows when the wall was around.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, the wall.
Yeah,
that big W.
The wall.
That big dumb thing, dude.
Dude, how many fun iterations have we had in paintball? It's the traveling carnival, dude.
Carnival, dude. I should put my legs behind my head now that you said that.
Yeah,
official, dude.
Yeah, official. I like it. What do you think of the new changes with the whole Super Cup and all that stuff? What do you think?
I don't really know, but I'll tell you what I do know is I'm very, very, very excited to play with Damage.
Yeah,
with Damage. Yeah, dude,
I am extremely, extremely excited to play with them, man. Like. Can't begin to tell
come?
you.
Why that team?
So many reasons, bro. So that's the thing, dude. I've just been thinking, where would I be best? Where can I help improve my game? Where do I feel like I belong? And that's the team, dude. That is the team by far. And just from an unbiased point of view, I'm trying to put the emotions aside where I want to be. And that is where I want to be, man. Finances aren't a concern, so that's good. But
yeah, of course.
So that's what I'm saying is I just put that aside because I'm not going to go where I'm getting paid most,
right?
And I probably wouldn't have enjoyed my time if I were to do that. So I'm going to go where I
want it, not need it.
There you go, baby. You're getting it.
Yeah,
on it,
100%.
Yeah. So yeah.
So did everything? You left X Factor all good? Everybody's cool. They were like, good. Go get them.
Yeah, we're all cool.
Go get him.
Yeah, fuck us up, dude. See ya.
Hey, go get him, bro.
Crush it, man. Crush it. Take it all. Take the series, bro. Take every event.
That might be the funniest thing you've said on.
Might as well just pull down your pants. What? I don't even know.
Oh, we're getting dark. Go get them. Oh, I like it. Yeah, seriously though, how did that come to be? Because again, obviously Alex Martinez, Ryan Brand, they're amazing paintball patrons. That whole organization, I've got a ton of respect for. I know Tyler does. I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
But I assume that
time for a change. It's just a new chapter.
There we
go. I think. With them too, just having to fly me in financially, and we got TJ, and just made sense, and just a great opportunity for me to kind of get that fire back in me,
to spread your wings and go get them.
Be around a new. You guys know what it's like coming to a new team. Actually, do you? I think you guys have been in Dynasty forever. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
no,
it's been a little bit now. But this is my 8th year.
Wow, but you know that like feeling. Even when a new player joins the team, it's just like, let's go, baby. Like this is something else. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited for that. I think just really watching them at Cup, bro, that changed a lot of things.
That was tight. They were playing so good. It was fun to watch them. And I actually had just got to play one of the 10-man events with Jacob and Jason.
Yeah.
And those are my boys. I love playing paintball with those guys. So, and I'm a part of the Damage alumni. I've been on Damage before and played, back in the day. So shout out to Damage. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those dudes. I actually, it's not a Damage alumni, but I did get to play with Jason and Jacob Edwards and Chad Bougier up in Canada in the CXBO.
That's right.
We
played you guys.
Won
you
a
beat
championship.
us.
Oh, yeah. We did indeed, yeah.
That was a good match, actually. It was a really good match. Yeah, so they're good. They're cool dudes that play the game the right way, man. But I could go on and on about that. So I actually played with Jacob in 2017. He came to 2015. I don't even know. He came to Heat. I think the second year of Heat or third. I'm not sure. Yeah, it was a second because the Russians were still on the team. He came in.
That's
he
right.
came in Chicago, and him and I just clicked.
2013.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. It was that long ago. It might have been 14. It was definitely not 15.
It was 13.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, 13.
Dude, him and I just clicked, dude. Clicked. Just communication, everything. We just like, hey, what do you need? Yeah, let's get me to the corner. Hey, what's stopping you? All right. Yeah, put that in. Okay, yeah. Hey, I'm in the corner. I got you. Let's get you going. I got the 3 in. Let's go. Yeah, keep going. Like, it was just like next level communication, just like we're talking on the phone, dude. It was an immediate connection on and off the field.
Dude, for the listeners out there, the way that he just broke that down so simplistically, that second nature for him, but that's really the type of communication that's going on out there on the paintball field, at the highest level. It's just concise, simple communication like that. And then I like what you said there, what's stopping you? What can I do for you?
My favorite question.
Yeah.
It's my favorite question. On and off the field. Question. It's my favorite question on and off the field as a teammate, as a hopefully future husband, that is my, as a, honestly, as a businessman, dude, and as a salesman, all I do is ask and empathize. What can I do for you? How can I help you? What do you need? And genuinely ask and encourage it. Like, whenever there's any feedback, Marcel, we're friends. If you had like an issue with me and like, and you told me like, listen, LJ, I really don't like when you wear all these clothes that are so nice, and you make me
make me feel insecure about myself, man. You come on my show, you fucking wear a meat coat. You come here, but you got 27 rings on, 4 necklaces, a damn wristband that looks cooler than everything I've got going on. Man,
you're just blue and white guy, dude. Blue and white guy.
Blue and white guy.
Yeah.
That's like a G too.
Papa Smurf over here.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. I'm gonna full screen you so I can see even more. There you go. Looking good. Looking good. No, I've seen you out, dude. I've seen you out. We've been out in Vegas before. You crush it. You crush it. Yeah.
There's a time and place.
Yeah. No, for real.
But you're just running up the middle in all aspects of your life, pretty much. You're running things down, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm just LJ, man. Yeah, I'm just LJ.
I love that.
Yeah. So
yeah.
But that conversation of what you're talking about, of just putting it together, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And then
that's the money right there.
Yeah. So that question, right? Of, hey, what do you need? Like that should be the immediate thing. So right away, dude, right off the breakout, like that. So I played with Billy last year, right? Or whoever. Billy and I played well together. So he's sliding into the God bunker. I'm in the next short bunker next to him. Hey, Billy, that's the first thing I say. Hey, Billy, 4 and 5, back right, and your mirror, right? Hey, 3, 4, and 5, back center, your mirror, and the back right. Hey, what do you need? Or what's more, it would be more into the game of what's stopping you, right? Because he's stuck. But hey, Billy, I'm here. Hey, let's get me to the corner. Can you put in the 3? And then when he puts in the 3, when he does it low. Because when he does it low, he just says go. And at the same time, once he does that, I'm able to come deep into the corner if that's the only person I put in. Hey, Billy, I'm in the corner. Billy, I'm here. I made it. It's like, so again, so we're connecting. We're disconnected off the break. We connect after the breakout, and then I disconnect, and then I connect again. Mm-hmm. Right? So I'm in the corner. Hey, Billy, I'm here. This is on me. Say it's the 4, the short Aztec, right? Hey, this is on me. And now all we're doing at that point is communicating of, say there's just one gun on us. All we're doing is communicating where that one gun is. It's just like a 2-on-1. Hey, he's on me. He's off me. When he's like, when Marcelo, you say he's on me, I make 1 bump. It's just like, it's the same exact thing where it needs to be that constant communication of where that one gun is. Because we just got to if I come out and say, hey, Billy, I'm here. Corner, the 3's on me. Billy gets on him. And then, hey, I'm on the 3. Okay, now I'm on him with you. And now we're both just double teaming that dude,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
And I like the little detail that you said as well. When Billy helps you get out to the corner, you said he drops low to draw that paint down so that you can make the move wide.
Because if he's high and he comes in, it's going to be pack height.
100%.
That's right. Yeah, little details like that are everything.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. Yeah, and that's the little intricacies that people don't think about, and it takes them years and years and years and years to figure that stuff out.
A lot of times it takes forever. I remember I was playing on a German team.
Yeah.
Not gonna name the team, but I'm playing on this German team, man, and so they're flying me out there, a pro, to obviously help them out as a guest player, to help them win, help them be better players and all that, right? Coach them and all that. So the team was cool, but I just had a problem with like one of the captains, the captain of the team, who's been the captain of the team for a long time. And so we just lost a match, and I'm just super upset because I'm just adamant about playing a certain way, right? Especially like, guys, we need to be playing it this way. This is how we need to be playing it.
Totally.
You know, like, first of all, asking everybody, how do you think we could win this point? And I think that's another important thing is just getting that. Everyone needs to have a voice, man. Everyone needs to be respected. You need to understand and have empathy for what's going on in everyone's mind on your team, because then you can form a great game plan off of where everyone's comfortable and figure it out that way. And then everyone plays well when they feel comfortable. And then
that's it.
Yeah. But anyway, so I have this conversation with him, and then he goes, I've been playing the game for 20 years, blah, blah, blah. And I go, well, you've been playing 20 years the wrong way, man. I don't know what to tell you, because that's how it is, man. It doesn't matter how much you play. Like you said, it takes years and years. So, I mean, dude, and that's the thing with people, like, and I'm adamant about teams doing clinics and learning from the pros and things like that, because it's like, okay, it doesn't matter how much you practice. If you're practicing the wrong way, it doesn't matter.
That's right.
You know,
100%.
You got to like really understand the foundation of how to play, and then you can go from there.
Yeah. And y'all out listening, you're going to want to rewind this back and listen to what LJ is talking about on these little details. He runs through them because they're second nature for him. But if you're listening, you can pick up a lot of big little key points that he's using as he's navigating the field out there. Yeah.
And I'm going to be putting a lot more out there, as well as I got like 5 messages on the little thing that I posted about my story.
Dude, I love that. I love what you're doing on IG. That's so sick.
Yeah,
posting those videos.
You know what? I want to help people. I love to help people. I really do. And I don't want to give off this vibe that I'm a pro player and that I'm this arrogant person that just, I can't, you know, like, I'm here to help, dude. And that's on the paintball field, off the paintball field, you know, just
love that.
I really just want to help anybody I can.
Love that, man.
We all need help.
Absolutely. We play paintball, dude. We play paintball. You know, when I'm at these like local, you know, I just go play paintball on the weekends for fun, right? People come up to me and like, oh man, you're super approachable. Dude, I'm a paintball player first and foremost, just like you.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like I've just been playing a long time. That's it. That's all. Like, we're lucky with paintball because the sport hasn't gotten away from us, where, you know, we have paparazzis and we really have to dodge certain things to, like, you know, for our safety and stuff like that. Like, some of these pro athletes, I mean, they really go through it. Yeah. You can't pick your nose in public without, you know, being blasted everywhere.
Yeah.
We don't deal with that, man. We're paintball players. And that's why we relate so much with everyone in the community, you know? And so at the end of the day, man, one, I love what you're doing too, on Instagram. We talked about this before the show. I love that you've been so active about it.
Yeah,
Listeners
shout out his IG real quick so they can go follow that.
Yeah. LJ, what is it exactly? John Lj Woodley, or?
Yeah, just JON Lj Woodley.
Nice.
Yeah. All the listeners, you guys need to follow him, especially now. We're going to hold you to it, brother. You got to keep posting that stuff.
I just started.
You have,
yeah.
You have these great clips of you playing, and you kind of do a good job. You do a good job of breaking it down in the caption, right? And that's good content. That's very valuable, man.
It's tough to do over, you know, especially with work and everything, to really break it down into text. So I feel like maybe I will start putting some audio on it. I feel like that would just be a lot easier way to explain what's going on. But yeah, that, as well as, you know, like I was saying, I'm here to help with anybody with things outside of paintball as well, you know. For example, like a bunch of people, I posted that little questionnaire thing on my story of, you know, what questions would you like, or what topics would you like me to discuss? And I literally got like 5 or 6 or 7 people talking about how to do my hair. So
yeah,
you know, even like, I thought they were kidding, but it's like, I think they're serious, and I think they are.
How do you do your hair? It's immaculate. Let's look at that for all the listeners right now. Go to the YouTube and check this man's out. Look at that fade, bro.
Play
Look
the
at that
game.
fade, that comb over, that cut. That's fresh. You got a top of the line barber.
I just got it cut, but
There you go.
so yeah, I mean, so a big thing, right? So as far as aesthetics goes, it's like very important to like why it's short on the sides is, I mean, it's just important for your bone structure. Like your face looks, thinner, and you just look cleaner, first of all. And then, my hair, how it is, it's because I blow dry it. Blow dry my hair since I was 14 years old, dude. But when you blow dry your hair, it gives it volume, and then you could just basically use a blow dryer just to control, like especially the one with the little nozzle at the end. It's just got a little pointer, so you can literally just point your hair exactly in the direction you want, and like lean into it a little bit too. That way, it just brings it up. And then if I want to have it say stand up the way I do, I lean forward and then basically have it hitting it like this, and that way it's hitting it in that direction. And then if I want to bring down the back a little bit, I'll just hit it like that into the back, and then just add a little bit of gel to it.
What kind of product are we working with here? What are we using in the hair?
Let me go get it.
Okay.
He's gonna get it. He's gonna
not
get
playing
it.
games when it comes to the hair. He's getting the product. We are gonna see this. Go to Play the Game. That's the YouTube channel, and you can see what we got. Oh boy,
Ruzel. Oh boy. Oh boy.
It's a big old piggy on the front of that thing.
Is there?
It's called
there is.
Reuzel. Ruzel.
We gotta tag them. I gotta get some shit going with them, dude.
Yeah.
Crush it.
There we go.
It's not necessarily the brand that matters so much. It's the
Is it like
type,
a pomade?
right?
yeah. So it's the actual like texture.
Clay.
Yeah. So that's the biggest thing is the texture, and all hairs differ, right? But then So yeah, just a little.
He's putting it in his hands
well,
right now.
I gotta put it somewhere, dude.
For it.
I got it all over my hands. So yeah, get
We're
it all warm,
here.
and then just I gotta go through the full process, dog. This is
We're getting
this
to
is
the clinic right
this is LJ on episode number 52 of how to.
There we
And
go.
then just put a little bit in.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah,
A little bit of love right there in the hair.
just a little bit
right?
too, not too much,
Easy.
And then again, you want to put the sides down. You want the sides to look clean, right?
Easy money.
Dial it in.
You got to dial in with
tight
bone
right there.
structure. You got to keep it symmetrical. You got to keep it moving.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Now, does Ronnie Dizon get his hairstyling tips from you?
Yes.
Yes.
he
Okay.
does.
I thought so. Okay, for sure.
He's never admitted it or thanked me ever for it, but I just gotta get it.
Well,
hold on 1 second.
No
I
time
get
like
it.
the present.
I get it. Nice. I like it, my man. Where'd you go? What are you doing? Oh, you gotta clean the hands or what?
Yeah,
Yep.
there's a towel right there.
He just gave us a clinic on the how to style it, so he's cleaning his hands now.
I'm here.
Dude,
I'm here.
God bless you.
I'm here.
Because there's a lot of people that are genuinely interested in this, and you've just helped them out tremendously.
Another thing too, right? Just to touch on a couple of things. I mean, extra moisturizer, man. You got to moisturize your face. It's good for a lot of things, right? But it's good for aging. It's good for all that. But it just makes you look less dull and just more lively and glowing and all that. But another thing too is just like
Greenfin actually has a great moisturizer that he uses as well, and he's avid about it.
Dude,
yeah, it's huge, bro.
The funny thing about Ryan, dude, I swear to God, when we travel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. When we would travel together, we'd go to on these international trips. You go through the airports. They have the duty free sections.
Yeah.
We'd go in there, and they would have like these. For all the listeners, I'm like the size of a silver dollar, right? And this cream would be like $1,500, but he would just go through and get like a bunch of samples of it and take it back. It's like insane face cream, dude.
I was flying with him, and that's exactly what he did. Oh yeah, so funny. And he told me, went through the whole process of, yeah, man, these things are like this expensive, and like this is this is what we got to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool, yeah. But yeah, I mean, like that is. There's so many other things as well, especially just, I mean, dude, get rid of the boot cut jeans. You got to get just some. They don't have to be the skinny jeans that I wear, but again, it's
boot cut. What are boot cut?
Boot cut are like the big
bell bottoms.
Boot cut, just
bell bottom.
Boot
Yeah.
Get
over the boot.
If that's your style, then that's all you, right? But like, just to look clean, man. Just have your suits tailored. Have your clothes fitting to where it's a clean look, right? Your jeans tailored to where it's a nice, clean look, where you don't look sloppy. And again, it's how you carry yourself, man. When you feel good, look good, feel good, play good. You know what I mean?
That's it.
I guarantee
Dude,
you,
I never thought about it.
if I guarantee you don't even notice it. You may notice it consciously when you actually do it too, but like there's so much subconscious thoughts that you like and actions that you don't even know what's going on. You're literally, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Like I can't even imagine.
Another thing too with like the face and the face looking good is drinking water, being
bro,
hydrated.
I could
when you're dehydrated, yeah, like you got to be well hydrated. When you're well hydrated, it shows through your complexion. Your complexion is so much more clear. Yeah, absolutely.
No, that's absolutely huge. It's for so many different things. I mean, I'm so adamant. I drink so much water, unbelievable amount. You know, of
how much water do you think you drink a day?
At least a gallon.
At least a gallon.
Yeah, at least. Yeah, at least.
Just pissing yourself everywhere you go. You're like, I gotta pee.
Well, the thing is now it's like the bladder's like it's used to it.
It's
almost.
normal, yeah.
There we go. It's like your stomach, right?
It expands. Yeah, it gets used to that.
So, but yeah, high pH water, high quality water, spring water. Do not drink. I mean, you guys, I'm sure already know that. But then, also,
100%,
I mean, with that, you need electrolytes and you need to be drinking transfuse because that is the only thing to drink. And I genuinely mean that. So like, it's the truth.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Transfuse, baby. It's the business.
Dude,
it is truly the business. It has everything you need.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Love it.
Yeah. I'll never forget the first time where I know that it's like a thing to talk about transfuse, but like I want to tell my like story of transfuse because it's life changing, bro. Like it is. So like before Cup this year, I was like, we'll see. Like I knew Steve from the past, but I was like, dude, we'll see, dude. And so, dude, I go out there and we practice so hard on X Factor that those weekends because obviously we wanted to win the event, of course, but then we had all this time, and so we practiced literally double as hard, double as long. As like heat was done at 1 o'clock, and we played for another few hours, and it was hot, dude. Mm-hmm. And I literally was thinking the whole time, I'm gonna be so sore after this weekend. I got all these meetings and everything, and dude, like I felt normal on Monday, and that's crazy because soreness is 90% because of dehydration. I don't know, probably not, but. I feel like with me at practice, it's always a major factor in why I'm sore.
Yeah, totally.
Because you can never drink enough water,
Absolutely.
You got to drink it beforehand. But yeah, with the transfuse, dude, I had no soreness, and it was I couldn't believe it. I literally could not believe it. It was like, what?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that is like the magnesium and potassium, right?
Yeah,
And that's what transfuse has. It loads you up. Your body, these are nutrients that you need. They're essential.
Yeah.
And when we're exercising, especially sweating the way we do in paintball gear, I mean, I can't drink enough water to keep me hydrated in a paintball. That you literally cannot.
You cannot.
Yeah, and so getting this stuff with transfuse is an absolute game changer, because it's getting those nutrients into your body the way you need them. Yeah, we obviously here. Tyler right now has a transfuse background, like we love transfuse. We truly do. They've been fantastic to us. They're a great sponsor of ours, and their product is really top notch.
And Steve is an absolute incredible human being, incredible businessman.
Totally.
And he's just, he's a true homie, man. Really, really good dude. Yeah. So much respect for that guy.
Proud.
So much respect for that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. We're proud to be a part of the transfuse family. So, I want to ask you one more question. I'm sure Marcelo has a couple, but what's some of the dreams that you have in the game of paintball for the sport that you would like to see, come into reality as we move into the next 5 years or whatever of paintball?
Yeah, thank you. That's a great question. And that's something that I've really started to, think about the last couple months, with some things that have been going on in my life, with work, business, all that, right? So just been really thinking about, and COVID as well, dude. It's a big time to think and step back and really analyze life, what's important, what I want out of it, what am I lacking, all that kind of stuff, right? So, so I think in the last few months especially, paintball is just really, obviously I'm super fired up to play with Damage. Work is going well. I feel like I'm not like just lacking in so many different things. I don't have a bunch of holes in my work life and my career. So it's like, I feel like I have that kind of under control, if you will. So now it's kind of like, I feel I want to put Damage on the map. I could not be more stoked to play for a team right now. I mean, they just looking at it just from a non-biased type of way, with the emotion a part of it, of me being on the team. It's just, that team is nasty. Everyone's in a good place. Joey's an incredible coach. The way they play the game, the way they communicate. I really feel with me adding me onto the team, it's just going to be a whole new fire. A whole new, a really, really solid team.
You guys have a lot of weapons.
Lots of weapons. Lots of options.
They already did, but
lots of options, lots of weapons. So, but beyond that, it's to do my part to utilize paintball and grow the sport of paintball. It's given me so much, man. It's given me so much. I could never imagine if I didn't have this sport. And that's what I've really been thinking about. It's like, man, if I don't have paintball, like what? I go to school and then I don't travel and I don't compete at something and just understand what it's like to just be on a top team and what that takes, and the mental toughness and how to just continuously improve. And I think that's something that I'm just so obsessive about, is just being a student in every single way of life and just constantly wanting to improve in every single way of life. Right. And that's why I encourage people to literally tell me, like I was going back talking about with you, Marcelo, as like you as my friends, just tell me what you feel like I'm lacking or how I'm treating you or how I could be better to you. And I encourage that, no matter how hard it may be for me to hear. I'm going to always appreciate that, because I don't know what's going on in your head. I don't, same with teammates. I don't know what's going on in my teammate's head. Tell me, talk to me. Let's lay it out there. Let's figure it out. You know what I mean? I would never get mad at you for just telling me what's going on. Tell me what's going on and let's fix this. Let's fix this. I'll fix me. So if you're like, as a friend, like you want me to be like, you see that I could be a better player in this way, or you see that I could be a better person in this way. It's like, dude, thank you. I encourage that. Thank you. Cause now I got some, insight into how
something to work with.
I got some, absolutely. I see what I'm lacking now. Thank you. Right. Cause it's that constant need to just be better and better and better than you always were. And that's not to be better than anybody else, but it's to be your best possible self. And when you're best possible self, it's a better life for you. It's a better life for the people around you. It's a better life for your kids. Like it's that ripple effect is so much more powerful than anyone could ever understand. It really is. It really is.
I'm so with you on that, dude. That is one of my biggest pet peeve type things is like, I have to have open dialogue, and I need you to tell me if there's anything going on. Please. That way we can move through it and be the best version of ourselves, like you said. Because otherwise it just gets buried, and then we start rippling out in different ways that aren't leading us in the right direction,
Yeah, absolutely. And that's totally a big part of that is from paintball, dude. It's like, that's how I as a teammate, if you and I were teammates and I'm just not talking to you about how I feel about this specific, like I'm playing the 1, you're playing the 2, and you're just not doing it well. And you know that I'm not playing well, just come up to me and be like, yo, hey, how can I help you? Like you're good, obviously an amazing paintball player, like what do you feel like would help you do your best here? Like I'm here for you. And I feel like that's how everyone should be for one another. I'm not here for myself. I'm here for you. How can I best serve you? And if that comes full circle, dude, you're going to have a great team. You're going to have a great time playing paintball. Like how much fun is it when you win a point with all 5 bodies alive, and you maybe even just play the pocket, but you just put it together. You put it together, you work together, and you win a 5 up on Sunday. Like that is so much more fun than shooting all 5 guys, in my opinion. But I love setting people. I love setting people up. Team game. Obviously, just being a midfield player, like that's just who I am. I love it. Like, hey, what do you need? Yeah. How can I help you? And that's on and off the field. Those conversations, and that's how can I be a better boyfriend to you? Like, how could I be better? brother to you, whatever it is, right? Like that. And again, the same goes for business, man. Like the way that I sell is literally just by saying, so what issues are you having? They tell me a big, long issues, like whatever comes to your head. And then I just, okay. And I'll relay the information back to them. So I making sure that I fully understand what they're saying. And then they feel heard. And then I just be like, okay, so here's some solutions we could have for you, right? And then I'm providing they're either where they're at now with all these issues, or we could go this path that has all these solutions for it. It's like, okay, yeah, let's do that. And you always want to make them pick, right? Just a quick sales thing. You don't want to tell them what to do, but with all these sales videos, you do not want to manipulate people. People they want to make their own decisions. So you lay out the decisions for them, the opportunities, and you're not selling them anything. You're just laying out opportunities and solutions for the issues they're having. And you get to pick. So whatever that is, you know what I mean?
Asking good questions.
Yeah,
that is the key.
Because then you're just getting insight and you're getting that empathy, man. Like that's just always the biggest thing in life. It's all about empathy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And same with on the paintball field. Like if I'm playing the two, and what would I want if I was that one? Like I would want this and this and this, right? So
yeah, to keep moving.
100%, dude. Yeah, that's why the empathy part is so huge on and off the field. I agree. And obviously I have a similar role to that where I'm constantly focused on what my players need. That's my number one job on the field.
You're good at that. You're very good
what
at that.
do my players need? Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. You know, that's what I'm supposed to do. You know, that's it. That's how I can help my team do stuff on the field, right? Like that is my contribution.
And then how much better are they going to play when you're asking those questions?
Yeah.
How much more are they going to want to perform for you, not for themselves? And then when you all want to all want to perform for each other, it's just a whole new just monster, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I saw out of you guys at Cup, dude. And it was really inspiring to watch. It really was. It was a whole. I haven't seen Dynasty play like that in forever. Not, I mean, just to that level, dude. Sure. You know, it was like to that level, to where it's like noticeably, they're playing tight. They're like, you guys were, 5-on-5, but I forgot who it was, but they were in literally your spots, and you guys were all alive and just talking. Just talking. Because those conversations are so important. Where it's like, hey, Judy's gonna go, switch, kill that guy. Where if we're all yelling, it's like that information is going to take longer to get across. Where you're not.
It's all about the practice. It really is. At the highest levels, it's about putting in the work. Yeah. There's no secret recipe, man. You just got to put in the work. We put in a lot of work leading up to that event, and it sounds like you guys did too. And it's no surprise that our two teams were in the finals. You said Houston Heat ended at 1:00 at your practice, and they obviously didn't do so well at the event. One of the top teams in the league. It's no secret, to get good at anything, you got to put in the work, you got to put in the time. There's not really a shortcut. If you're not willing to do it, then be okay with being middle of the pack. But if you want to be the best, you better put in the work. That's the bottom line, and that's with anything. So
yeah, without a doubt.
Speaking about some extra kind of work, I do have just a question for you, LJ, about your workout regimen. If you have one, what do you do to stay in shape for paintball? What type of exercising do you do, if you do any?
So I stretch a lot, dude. I stretch a lot. I think that's super important. Just yoga in general is just insane, but stretching, not just like 10-second stretches, 10, 9, switch. Right. No, dude, I hold stretches for 30, and it's easy, dude. Just get in the habit of doing it. You're in front of the TV, watching TV at the end of the day, whatever it may be, watching a podcast, because I think that's what you should be doing always. It's just utilizing the precious time that you have on this earth to improve yourself. Dude, it's crazy.
Listen to Play the Game podcast.
Listen to Play the Game. Oh, dude, without a doubt, dude, absolutely. And you come out of that podcast better, and then you feel better about yourself because you're better now, right? It's like, and you feel better about yourself because you made the right decision of, should I watch TV or Netflix, or should I watch Play the Game podcast? Okay, I want to be better, so I'm going to do that, right? Yeah. And you have a whole new perspective on everything. Dude, I stretch every single day, and long stretches, very long time, 30-minute stretches. So that's a huge part of my workout regimen. And then, so I'm actually now just starting to really start to do, I do like high intensity, intervals. So interval type stuff. I'm going to be hitting the weights a little bit more, just because I don't know. I just feel like I'm 30 years old. I want to kind of see.
What you can
do. I would hate to be 60 years old and not be capable of being like I got my body to the best that it could possibly be, right? It's kind of just like, that's a goal of mine. So I think that would be a big thing. So I'm going to be hitting the weights a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, just cardio is the biggest thing, dude, honestly, with paintball.
What do you do for cardio?
Let's see. So I run a lot. I think, especially with working and everything like that, it's just, it's really important to clear my mind and just, and it's been proven that it literally makes you smarter, dude. Just getting exercise in every single day. Because when you hit 30 years old, you start to lose memory and things like that. And just, so running is very important to me. And then, just body weight stuff at home, honestly. Just making sure that I get at least something in every single day. I'm super, super busy with work. And obviously right now I'm in a little bit of a limbo mode where I'm kind of in between, homes right now, which I'm excited to just finally have my own place to call home. Oh, I can't wait.
There we go.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you. So yeah. And then what you're saying, as far as, just going back to what we're saying about Tyler, you're asking, where I want to be in paintball.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to help bring Damage to, to be the number one team. And I feel like that's a very possible thing. I think that everyone else is on the same page, and they all have the same hunger and fire, and they're all in the same place in life to where they can make that happen. Right. And I think Joey's a huge part of that. And, I can't tell you enough how special it is for me to be playing in Tim's spot on Damage too. That was a big reason for it, man. I just, I could go on about how much I love to miss that dude, but yeah, I think that's pretty special to be playing, in his spot and knowing he's looking down, smiling that I'm playing with his boys, so I'll be playing for him out there without a doubt.
Love that.
So yeah, I want to bring.
Yeah, we had his number on our shoulders on our latest jersey and everything, and we miss him dearly. And my God, that guy is an angel and was an angel when he was here with us, and we're so fortunate to have had him in the paintball industry.
Oh, yeah.
He's done so much for so many people here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I miss him a lot. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing, man. I really love that. That's deep. That's really deep too.
Yeah. I'm so blessed that God gave me the opportunity to play with him on for just the year that I had, but just see him in Australia and the European events.
Yeah.
And it was tough for me for a while because he was pushing me to go on a trip to Southeast Asia so many times, and I just kind of was like, dude, I'm so busy with work, I can't right now, and just so there was a lot of regret with that at first, but I've kind of overcame that, but.
He's always with us, like you said, and we get to play for him every time we're out there, and we will never let his lineage be forgotten. It'll be a part of paintball history for all time. We're making a statue, dude. We are making a statue that is going to be immortalized out there on the East Coast, I believe. Is that right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. It's gonna be a pretty badass statue at one of the paintball fields. I honestly do forget which one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But LJ, I'll tell you what, dude, when things open back up, you can guarantee I will be there in Southeast Asia. I was always down there, always got to hang out with Tim, which was a blessing. Okay. And you're going to come back out there and we're going to have a beer on the beach for Timmy because that's what he loved to do was hang out, have a good time, play paintball and drink some good beers.
I would love to.
So we'll make it happen, dude.
Love to.
We absolutely
Seriously.
will. And Tyler, we're going to get you out there too.
Yeah, boy.
And Chad and Sam and Ryan, Ronnie.
Yep.
All
the boys.
All those guys.
All the boys, man.
Yeah, no, but with just continue what I was going, with Damage and everything. Yeah, I want to do my best to grow the sport, man. Like it's given me so much. I've been blessed with the teams that I've been a part of, the knowledge I've gained, and I have so much to offer, so much wisdom in so many different aspects of not just paintball, but life. And I have an incredible outlet with social media, collabing with you guys on ways to grow both of us. Yep. Right. And so really, really grow paintball and, help as many people as I possibly can. And just really, really put myself out there, which I've, just been kind of putting off. So I'm going full in on that and just helping people. And like I said,
well, we'll be right there with you.
I love it.
Yeah.
Dude. Yep.
We'll be rocking with you the whole way, brother.
But dude, with Damage, man, like Keith on the Snake side, bro. Keith has been playing out of his mind. He's been playing the best paintball I've ever seen him play. It's crazy. It's crazy good, dude. And then
Keith
is a dominant.
Brian Smith behind him. Yeah. And Brian Smith behind him. He's just an absolute weapon. Jason, can't respect that dude's play enough, and Jacob as well. And those two are in the gym every single day, crushing it, dude. I think Jacob's already lost 15 pounds. I think Jason's the same, or I think maybe I think Jacob's the same weight, but it's just all gone into muscle. So just that they have that hunger. Now that I have that hunger again, it's just perfect fit. And dude, I mean Tampa, bro, like. Everybody, like everyone's winning out there. Why not, right? Why not continue that to go, bro?
I don't know. We're gonna see, man, this weekend. I don't think Tampa's gonna win this weekend. It's gonna be that Kansas City sweep.
I honestly know nothing about sports, and I just found someone told me 2 days ago about Tampa. I was like, oh, okay. I guess all the teams in Tampa are good. Cool. Let's sweep it.
Do you have any idea who plays on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Tom Brady.
Okay, all
that's
right.
My boy. That's my boy.
as long as you know that,
that's my boy for sure.
Right.
Yeah,
hell yeah,
respect for that,
dude. Woodley, this has been a hell of a show, man. You are very insightful. Actually, this is obviously the longest we've ever talked, and
it's crazy.
It's a pleasure to get to know you on this level. You really spoke a lot of truth on this episode, and the listeners, man, fuck, dude, you really left them with some knowledge.
Yeah.
I encourage everybody to make sure you follow LJ on Instagram, because again, there's just I'm sure there's going to be a lot more great stuff coming from you.
Absolutely. So, and if I could just thank you for saying that, and then I just want to, of course, just really focus and thank all the fans and followers of me and the sport, and I cannot begin to articulate how much I appreciate all of you guys, man. Like, you make this so worth it, and I love all of you guys, and I'm here for all you guys. Just seriously, I'm a message away. Just throw me a message and just tell me how you like the show. What do you want to learn? And I'm honestly happy to help, dude. And I'm on the same level as you. I'm a human being. We're all human beings, dude. So I'm the same person as you, dude. I've got a lot more experience in paintball, maybe, or whatever it may be. But dude, here to help. And that's the only way to grow, man, is just to constantly be looking for that advice and asking for help, especially when you have those opportunities. So take advantage of it. Yeah.
That's it, dude. All about the good questions. And why don't you leave everybody with where they can message you? Obviously, you have your Instagram at John Lj Woodley. Yeah. And then also on Facebook, I'd imagine you have that. Is it just John Woodley on there?
Actually, John Michael Woodley, but I'll probably
Woodley.
Probably throw it back to John Lj Woodley because everyone's getting confused. But
yeah,
John Michael is my full name, too, so everyone knows out there. Yeah,
that's my brother.
That's a fancy name, dude.
What did you say?
I have one brother, and his name is Michael, so that's a good name.
Oh, okay.
I like that.
Yeah, nice.
That's my brother's name too. My older brother, Mike.
Really?
That's Michael Margot.
No way.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yep. Look at that, dude. We're connected. We're all brothers, baby.
We literally are, dude.
We are.
Love each other, bro. For real.
All of us.
Hell yeah,
seriously,
man. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I love you guys. It's been great talking to you.
It's been an honor.
Love
you too, brother.
I really appreciate what you guys are doing, and I love it. And just keep doing what you're doing. And it was a real honor and a pleasure, and I appreciate you. Seriously.
Heck yeah, man. And crush it next year with Damage. Keep having fun out there and stay well, stay safe, okay?
Will do.
LJ,
my man.
You're the man. We'll have you back on soon.
Looking forward to it. See you guys. Bye.
All right, later, brother.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
All right, PTG fam. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. That was a fantastic episode. we are so thankful for Woodley coming on the show and sharing his stories with us. We are incredibly grateful for him spending the time with us and opening up to the PTG fam. That was some really valuable stuff. Lots of great kernels of knowledge in there. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys go back and listen to it again, because I guarantee you some of that stuff will resonate better the more that you hear it. Woodley is just a dominant person on and off the field, and he really opened up with what it takes to exert that type of confidence. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you guys did, you could head over to ptgpaintball.com, join the Play the Game Winner Circle on our Patreon. We are building an awesome group there. We're going to be doing some really cool private shows, extra content, stuff like that for the community, live Q&As, and we extend a lot of our discounts and team sponsorships with you guys specifically and exclusively. So we would really appreciate the support. All that support does go back into this show and making this show as good as it can be. Tyler and I have been working tirelessly day and night to bring you guys constant content, and we love to do it, and we want to continue to do it, and we want to grow our community here. So again, thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you, as usual, very soon. Oh, P.S. Everybody enjoy the Super Bowl this weekend. Please be safe. If you're watching it with your friends or families, be safe, have a good time, and go Chiefs. Although I won't be mad if Brady wins. Peace.